Okay, hello, guys. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a good day today. Okay. I haven't done a Red Dead Online stream in, like, 3 weeks. Uh... let me... here. Okay. Make sure everything's working here fine. Okay. How you guys doing? Hey, did you guys get a notification out? Because sometimes my videos have just been... It's been a little hard to get notifications out. Oh, you did? Okay.
I got a notification.
Okay. Okay, Okay, and let me just post this on Twitter here. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I think this'll, everything should be working here fine now. Okay. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are all having... Oh, hey, TJ. I hope you guys are having a good, Friday and a good start to the weekend. Happy Friday. Let me clear some space in the posse so that people can join. I really hope that I really hope that I'm totally wrong, and that Rockstar does something more than just, like, just blood money missions for December, because this game really needs an update. And the thing is, this game is dying so badly right now. Like, like, a year ago I would have said that no, it's not dying, but, like, now, like, the state this game has been in, just the neglect from Rockstar, oh my, it's not good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, what am I gonna do first? I guess we'll do an Anthony Foreman mission since he's right here. Yeah, I know. I haven't done a Red Dead stream in like 3 weeks, and I apologize for that. The reason is I've just been busy with just so many things. Like, there's so many games that came out, I was just busy. My sleeping schedule was just really messed up, too. But now I got my sleeping under control, and, you know, I have a little bit more time, and, you know, gonna do more of these now.
See what Martelli's got in store? You're gonna need some more capital. You're gonna make some powerful enemies on this road.
Okay, guess we'll wait till someone, till a few more people join before we do that one.
If you ask me,
oh, hey, Saucer.
This whole capital business was fool's gold right from the start.
Who did a better job running the Los Carnales? The Los Carnales. You said that to trap me in that sentence, but yeah, the Los Carnales. Who did a better job at running the Carnales? The Angelo or Hector, and why? Well, both of them were morons, really, if you think about it.
I got some leads in town that you could chase up. Are you smart enough to do what
Hector was, Hector lied to Manuel about the drug lab, being under control. He lied about them reclaiming the drugs. He couldn't even tell when Manuel insulted him. Remember that scene where, when, Manuel says, "What about this gang from Saints Row that I'm hearing about?" And Hector just says to him, he says, "They're nothing." and Manuel says your father would have killed them all by now, and then Hector says I'm not my father, and then Manuel says I've noticed. So he's basically insulting him, saying that he's not as strong as his father, and Hector was too stupid to realize that Manuel had insulted him with that. Play anything but Red Dead Online, please. Well, thank you for the super chat, Grits, but I want to play this game. I like having fun playing this game. I haven't done this game in like 3 weeks. I don't see why I shouldn't play this game. Steal the Capitale stashes. Oh, nice. Capitale.
Yeah, I haven't had this one in a while.
Yep. Capitale.
Make attention.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Ain't no one gonna see.
Where's this? What happened? The stash disappeared? Hang on. I'm getting a bit confused right now. Farming Simulator has more active players than Red Dead Online, a farm game. Well, Farming Simulator is a more widespread game. I don't even know the numbers on it, but I'm assuming that that's, yeah.
Okay, I've got one.
And hey, Professional, how was your Thanksgiving? It's funny how Canada has its own Thanksgiving in October, but America has its Thanksgiving in November. Yeah. There is, I know that Canada has a Thanksgiving in October, yeah.
What do you think you're doing? Who the hell are you?
I will have another San Andreas video up today.
Don't get me wrong, I like San Andreas, but what about Call of Duty Vanguard?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. Just the next part of Vanguard is probably gonna do a few missions in it. I just haven't had the time for it, but I'm gonna do it also. It's also because the reason that the Vanguard playthrough got a little bit delayed, I haven't forgotten it, is because I needed to make an outfit for the North Africa campaign. Because I wore like an outfit for the Eastern Front and the Western Front and that, and I wanted to make one specific for North Africa. I didn't want to wear like, you know, the same thing again. But I have it, so, you know, expect the next part of Vanguard will be up tomorrow. So expect that then. My outfit is gonna be a little different than Lucas, but I tried to make something a little bit like, you know, for that theater feel.
You know, it's actually important that Call of Duty Vanguard actually did a North Africa front, because the first try to occupy North Africa from the Nazis was a major failure.
North Africa isn't really shown a lot in World War II games. Yeah, North Africa is one of the first theaters where the Allies started winning. There initially, you know, it was bad at first, but they eventually started winning in North Africa. What a lot of people don't realize, and I wonder if, you know, I wonder if Call of Duty Vanguard is going to show this, because I haven't done the North Africa campaign yet, but I hope that you encounter the Italians as enemies in that level also, because the Italians were a major force in the North Africa campaign. I don't think a lot of people realize that. There was a lot of Italian soldiers in North Africa. Their tanks were garbage, but there was a lot of Italian soldiers in North Africa.
Actually, one of the causes for the Allies' defeats was that they were not prepared for the sand, because the sand, it ruins tank engines. Massive.
Yeah, sandstorms.
Just. I don't talk about sandstorm. I'm talking sand at general. Sand is one of the worst things that a tank engine can have, because it ruins the it just ruins the steel inside the engine, and then the engine starts to break, and the tank just gets stuck.
Oh, there was a super chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't see it. I'm sorry I didn't see it earlier from Sanchez. Thank you, $50 super chat. Thank you, man. I really agreed with you on your video about YouTube deleting the dislike button. You're still one of my favorite YouTubers, pro. Much love and respect for you and your content. Keep up the great work. Congrats on hitting 1 million subscribers. Nice hat. Thank you, Sanchez. Thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Thanks, man. What got you to play Red Dead today? Thank you, Claude. That I haven't done a Red Dead stream in 3 weeks, and I didn't think that was fair because a lot of people asked me for a Red Dead stream and I just didn't get around to doing it. I kind of feel bad now that I haven't done a Vanguard playthrough in like over a week. I'm sorry about that, everyone. I've just been delayed with a few things. But it's just a bit overwhelming when I had like I was doing like Saints Row 2 and GTA the definitive edition. I'm also working on a lore video right now, so it's like I just got a little overwhelmed, so that's why, you know, Vanguard got a little push. I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna finish Vanguard, so don't worry. I'm not gonna, you know, forget it. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Anomalous. But yeah, I guess I'll see when I do the North Africa missions in Vanguard. I hope that they have like they also show the Italians as a faction that you fight in that one. Jonathan, when it's at like I guess 12 minutes to deliver it, then we'll make a little more money and
Yeah, I actually need you to lose the law for that.
Oh, I need to lose the law, right? Okay, I probably just deliver it. Let me just do that really quick. I'll just run out the back of the cemetery.
I'll follow the train tracks since
I don't think I even need to go. Yeah, I don't even need to run out of the cemetery. I can just sit here, and I'll lose the cops. Yeah, I'll still do some Hitman 3. The sniper missions, I've never finished those in Hitman 3. But I'm also probably gonna do, the Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 game, and the reason I didn't start that one is because I would have been doing like 4 games at once, and that would have really overwhelmed me. If you like LA Noire, I think you'll like watching me play through the Sherlock Holmes games. I just hope I get around to doing it. Because Sherlock Holmes is the Chapter 1 is kind of similar to LA Noire. Oh, thank you, Bell. Thank you, Bell. Thank you, man. What currency is that? And, here, have some Capitale. By the way, are there any lore videos on Vanguards in the works? Appreciate your videos. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you, Bell, for the super chat. I don't know about Vanguard, but I always wanted to make a lore video on Sergeant Reznov in World at War and Black Ops, and I wanted to do like a lore video. Is Reznov really dead or not? But I never got around to making that.
Reznov is that officer where when him and Mason escape the Gulag.
Well, yes, but then yes, that's the guy. But remember that then when Mason sees him in Black Ops 1, that's not really Reznov. That's a hallucination. But that doesn't mean that Reznov is dead. You never saw Hudson says he died in Vorkuta during the escape, but there's really never been a body. And there hasn't been proof. And then if you log on to the computer in Black Ops 1, there's like these emails that are addressed to like Mason, and it's like one of the emails says like tell Mason that it's freedom for both of us now. And it's like it makes it heavily imply that Reznov survived. Saints Row reboot got delayed to August, but they won't be making drastic changes. You know what they should, do you know what they should probably do? Volition, what they should probably do, the series, Burn the Crops, though. This is actually a pretty interesting side mission. This isn't, But, what I was saying is, what Volition should do, in my opinion, is they've already made the map for the city, which, the map doesn't seem like bad or anything, from what I've seen. It's like the characters that are like a major problem in the new, in the new Saints Row game. The fact that they're like hipsters, they're not like real gangsters. What Volition should do is just scrap the characters that they have right now. Just get rid of those characters. Make brand new characters. Keep the map. So, you know, I guess keep the city, keep the location, but make brand new characters. Change up the gangs, make new gangs, and everything like that. It might push the game to be delayed for another 2 years even. But I think if they did that, I think that the game would just be much more quality and better. I know they said they won't change them. I'm fully aware of that, Radic. But I'm saying that, in my opinion, if they want it to be, if they want to, you know, attract a lot of more people, you know, back to the series, you know, you got to change these characters. OG Loke is more gangster than the current Saints Row protagonist. Oh my god, I love that. I love that comment. Oh yeah, I remember that when they said haters gonna hate, and they said that if you didn't like it, that you were a hater. Yeah, I remember that. That was very bad. That was very bad that a developer would do that. Is anyone else joining? And Brandon, I'll help you with your sale, I promise. Is anybody else joining the thing? I'll help anybody that needs help. Would I rather play Saints Row 3 or 4 if I had a choice? I'd rather play Saints Row 3. Because I don't like either Saints Row 3 or 4, but I think Saints Row 3 is the better game. Because it's just Saints Row 4, I think, is the worst one in the series. Happy Thanksgiving, and there will be a Saints Row 4. Well, I don't know. Like, you know, people have asked me in the comment section, will you do Saints Row 3 and 4 after Saints Row 2? I don't know. Because, like, it's like, I really liked Saints Row 2. And that was Saints Row 2 is my favorite game of all time. Like, that's my favorite video game ever. And, like, it's just, Saints Row 3 and 4 is just so much different. It's not gangsters anymore. It's just, you know, Saints Row 3 was like being you were a celebrity selling energy drinks. And, like, fighting, like, luchador gangsters and then futuristic police force with zombies. It got stupid. And then it was like Saints Row 4, it was like, it got even more ridiculous, where you became the president of the US, and you stopped, like, a nuclear missile crisis, and then you fought aliens that invaded the White House, and then you got captured by the aliens in, like, a Matrix simulation. It was just... And then you had superpowers, and then you had to save Santa Claus, and then you had to go into hell and fight Satan. Like, the game just got so stupid. Like, I don't know how that happened. And no, I'm not trolling when I said all that. All of that stuff is actually in the game, everything that I just said. So that is literally the state of Saints Row 4. That is what type of game Saints Row 4 is.
What could you do is like do the beginning of each game and say and do a poll whether people want the rest of the game or not.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's just the alien stuff. It's just the aliens have just bothered me so much in like in Saints Row, like Saints Row 4, and I don't think that a lot of people realize that GTA Online is starting to go down this trend. I don't think a lot of people realize that when GTA Online does like all the futuristic vehicles, you know, the Avon Hertz crap, when they do stuff like that, Oppressor Mark II, you know, they've had like alien Easter eggs and everything, you know, okay, fine, but like, you know, don't do stuff like that in the main story. Keep it out of the main story. You know, the aliens should not be part of the main story in GTA. So it was just, I'll keep that out. Oh, what just happened? Was that an accident?
I don't know.
I think it was an accident. It looked like he crashed into you.
Yeah, I think so too, but just the instant death thing was weird.
Be careful not to overwork yourself. It's cool if you take a break, we'll wait. But by the way, this currency is Swedish. Oh, okay, Belle, thank you. Yeah, but I appreciate what you say, Belle. I want to finish Vanguard too, because you're right. I haven't and Jonathan was right. I haven't done Vanguard in like over a week, so I should I should finish Vanguard. I think I'm pretty close to the end of the game, right? Without anybody spoiling it for me. Am I close? Because, like, the last part that I got up to was the North Africa missions. That's like what I just got up to. So that's what I left off on. So I mean, I can't imagine it'll be any longer because it's like the Call of Duty campaigns are only like 5 hours long. So,
No, I can see that they're doing North Africa, and then there's gonna be like an escape or something like that.
yeah, oh yeah, I definitely feel like the last mission is gonna be them escaping. That's what I definitely feel like. But the thing is, though, is that, you know, I don't think the story is like terrible in Vanguard, but I don't think that it's like as good as like World at War storyline. Like, I think World at War had like the best World War II storyline in a Call of Duty game. Call of Duty World War II storyline was pretty good too. But I think that World at War was the best one for the story during a World War II game. Here.
Actually, I think that the final mission on World War II was actually kind of subtle, because when you see the concentration camp, you don't see the full horror of this. You know, you have in where I live, every 11th grade that they send all of the high school to Poland, to the concentration camps.
Yeah, Auschwitz. That's a lot of people go there every year. It's a major visiting site in Poland. It's just yeah, it's. And you look at that, you just think of the horrors that just went on there. Thank you, Peanut. I have a bad feeling that GTA 6 will have a similar vibe to the Saints Row reboot. I hope not. And thank you, Joey. Thanks, man, for the super chat also. Ja też jestem Polakiem. Yeah, I'm Polish also. Tobruk and El Alamein are the last of the flashback missions. I'll only say that. Also, 29 months. Wow, time flies. So thank you, Chaz. Thank you for sponsoring the channel again. Oh, there's people here that want to join the posse. Hang on, is the posse might be locked. I think the posse is locked because of the
Yeah, it's invite only.
Yeah, open. Okay, join. The reason I had it locked is because I had those people that were harassing me like a month ago when I was playing, and they tried to join the posse, and I had to kick them out. And
for idle hands. Gift of mine.
I hope you change your mind in the new Saints Row because I think it looks cool. I think some of the gameplay, and look, I think some of the gameplay in the new Saints Row game, I think it looks like, I think it looks fine, but like one thing that bothers me is like health bars in like in Saints Row the reboot, and I really don't like that. I really don't like that there's health bars, and
I know.
the reason I don't like that is because in the old Saints Row games, like Saints Row 1 and 2,
Just a little too civilized, ain't it?
how strong are gangsters? Unless they're wearing body armor, it's just a few shots and they're dead. And that was like what it was in Saints Row 1 and 2, but in Saints Row 4, like some of the gameplay that I looked at, like the enemies looked like bullet sponges, like when you were fighting them. They did bring back like insurance fraud, which seemed cool, but like it was just, the enemies were like, some of them were just, you can turn them off. Well, even if you can turn off the health bars, those enemies are still going to be bullet sponges. Like, it's still going to happen. The only enemies in Saints Row 2 that had more health than other enemies were bosses. Those were the only, and that made sense. Like when you fought Marrow took a lot of damage. When you fought Kazuo Okuji and you fought what's his name, Shunichi, they took a lot of damage. Mr. Sunshine, they took more damage. So that was, understandable because they were boss battles. But like the fact that you can encounter just generic enemies in the world that are gonna like be bullet sponges, I think that that's a bit ridiculous.
When I saw the new Saints Row trailer, what I thought?
What did you think?
You had the guy on the bike. I thought he was a cheap version of Wrench from Watch Dogs.
And the thing is, that was like like that scene was like really like weird because it was like the guy just likes cooking and he constantly talks about food and stuff, and it's just I just thought that whole presentation was weird. Oh, no, come on. Okay, I messed that up.
You mad?
Still using free aim here. I like 3 more than 4 because at least they had gangs. Sure, they had at least gangs in 3, but it wasn't, you know... The thing is, you know what I hated the most? Is I hated that the gangs in the 3rd one were just one big gang. That's basically what they were, and I didn't like that. I always liked it when there was like 3 separate gangs and there was like a storyline for each gang. I liked that much better than like having just one big gang that you fight.
Find out the schedule.
What's up?
I found that schedule. It was
oh, okay.
on the upper floor.
Hey Pro, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Have you ever thought about doing a bully playthrough on your channel? I think you'd enjoy it. Oh, thank you, Paul. I'll do a bully playthrough one day. I just don't know when I'll get around to it. And I never played a bully game, so it's like I think it'll be a unique experience when I do it, too. Luby's GTA trilogy. Do I like the GTA trilogy? I think that...
them or wait for you?
Wait, you can just take over the stagecoach. You don't have to wait for me. If you want to wait, you can, but it's not, you don't have to. About the GTA trilogy, there are certain, like, you know, parts of the game that look better, I'd say. But then there's parts of it that are a disaster. Like, I think the checkpoint system is good in the trilogy, because some missions can be really unforgiving. I like how there's a GPS system now. I think that's definitely a plus. The GPS helps a lot in the countryside when you're driving in San Andreas. But the glitches, you know, the glitches that are in the game, the draw distance, I don't like the draw distance in the new one. The problem with the San Andreas remake is that you can go on top of, like, Mount Chiliad, and you can see the whole map. You can see, like, all the way to the corner of the map. And I think that that's a problem. Because, you know, I know that San Andreas map isn't, like, gigantic. But the thing is, though, is there was, like, fog that kind of, like, you know, made the map a bit better. And I think that fog should have stayed in the game. And I remember how, like, each city had, like, their own, like, kind of, like, you know, weather, where Los Santos was, like, the most brightest city, you know, really sunny. San Fierro was, foggy at times, like, the fog in San Fierro, and then in Las Venturas you had, like, the sandstorms, kind of, and, like, in the desert. When is the Lost MC video coming out? Oh, that'll take me a little bit of time. I'm working on another GTA 4 lore video, and eventually I'll do one on the Lost. Just be patient with me, man. I'm just putting out, like, a lot of different lore videos.
You know, I encountered another glitch. I had the mission where CJ and Big Smoke is on the bike, and CJ is shooting all the enemies in the sewer tunnels. So on the end, when he drops him off at the parking lot, he just got stuck at the end of the cutscene.
And you can't progress?
No, actually, the only thing I've had is delete the game and reinstall it.
You know something? I've had a similar issue with the Catalina mission when I did the liquor store robbery, and I dropped Catalina off at the hideout, and there's like a little cutscene that never ends where she constantly like moves her hands around, and I wasn't able to fix that. I had to literally close my app, restart the game. I went from fidelity mode to performance, and I redid the mission, and that worked. And the glitch was I didn't get the glitch again, but. Hey bro, I've quit supporting Rockstar, GTA and Red Dead games. It's sad how they neglect Red Dead. I've deleted both games. I don't blame you, man. And I guess we'll see what happens in December. I'm hoping that there will be a good update in December, and when the next Red Dead update comes out, I'll probably do a charity stream on it, right when the update comes out. I just hope it's a good update too. I haven't decided on the charity that I want to do yet, for the holidays, but I'll decide on something.
Hand in the bag?
Wait until 13 minutes exactly.
Okay.
Why do people call Saints Row a GTA clone? Because they're stupid. You know, the people that call Saints Row a GTA clone, not trying to insult them, you know, I just called them stupid, but they're really ignorant. Like, you know, it's you make a statement like that, like, you know, calling it a GTA clone, like, seriously, that's just a stupid thing to say. Like, it's just, that's just dumb. And honestly, I'll tell you something. By the logic that they're calling Saints Row a GTA clone, I could call Call of Duty a Medal of Honor clone. And some people are like, what are you talking about? What a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of Medal of Honor developers went and made Call of Duty, because before Call of Duty, you had Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor came before Call of Duty, and then Call of Duty came out, and Call of Duty got more popular. But Call of Duty was heavily inspired by Medal of Honor. A lot of Medal of Honor developers were went over to help make Call of Duty. And so you could argue that Call of Duty is a Medal of Honor a clone, but nobody does that. So then why do people claim that that Saints Row is a GTA clone? I don't see people claiming that Forza Horizon is a Gran Turismo clone. So it's like I don't see anybody saying that Battlefield is a Call of Duty clone. You know, I don't see like it's just you know, the people that say this are just really ignorant.
You know that Call of Duty actually started as a way to help wounded soldiers getting back to the battlefield.
Oh, I don't know about, I didn't know about that, but I know that they, like, ever since Modern Warfare 2, they had, like, those charities for, like, veterans that they did. Oh, and a side of World War II that almost never gets explored is the Polish side. Lots of crazy stories about the Polish resistance, like the story of Witold Pilecki. Well, thank you, Bell. There is, you know, the thing is, though, Poland doesn't get a lot of coverage in World War II games, if you think about it, considering that Poland was the start of the war. And Poland doesn't get a lot of coverage in the in World War II games. I'm trying to think. Poland did appear in Call of Duty 3. In Call of Duty 3, there was a Polish campaign that had 2 missions, and that was based on the Polish army that fought in Italy. In 1943, 1944, up until 45, but there was that, and then there was that game, I think, Enemy Front. Enemy Front was like, it wasn't a popular World War II game, but there was like that. There was actually a few missions that actually had like the Polish resistance in that one. But yeah, it was Warsaw Uprising was like the largest, like, you know, uprising during World War II, like the largest civilian uprising. The whole city like rebelled against German occupation, and the Warsaw Uprising does not get a lot of, like, you know, coverage in World War II games.
You know that Polish ballots after Poland was taken? by the Germans, Polish pilots went into France, and in France they fought the German Luftwaffe. And after France was taken by the Germans, they went into Britain. And in Britain they helped. I believe there was the first month of D-Day. There was the squadron that have taken down most enemy fighters.
Yes, during the Battle of Britain, the Polish pilots were some of the best pilots of the war. They had stopped a lot of German planes and bombers that were trying to threaten Britain at the time. But the thing is, though, is that what happened was a lot of those Polish pilots, after the war ended, they actually got deported back to Poland, because they were in Britain for the majority of the war, and a lot of those Polish pilots, when they got deported back to Poland, they got killed or imprisoned. And the reason for that was because a lot of those Polish pilots were actually anti-communists, and they were freedom fighters, and they hated Stalin. And what happened was, when Stalin took over Poland, he put in a communist dictatorship. And so a lot of the people that were from the resistances in Poland were killed by the new government. And so, yeah, that was just a really bad part of Polish history. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my moonshine shack here. Pro, what happened to Dex in Saints Row 2? Oh, there's gonna be a mission on that. There's gonna be a secret mission on that, and I'll explain that later on. There's gonna be a specific mission regarding Dex. Thank you, Fernando, for the super chat. Hi, Pro. Been watching you since 2018 to 2019. You encouraged me to play other games too, apart from GTA Online. Love from the UK. Well, thank you, Max. Thanks, man. When Vanguard? Either today or tomorrow. I'll probably tomorrow, but I'll have the next part up soon. On nie mówi zbyt dobrze po polsku, bo on się urodził w USA. He's saying I don't speak good Polish because I was born in the US. But, no, I actually speak Polish pretty fluently. I can, speak regularly to people. It's just when I talk to people in Polish, they all know that I'm from America because they say that I have a heavy American accent when I say words and stuff like that. But, I have a hard time. I have a hard time reading Polish. Like, that sentence I was actually able to read. But I do have a hard time reading and writing. I'm not the best at that. But generally, if I read slowly, I can read it. But writing, I don't know how to write really well in Polish. Is Polish like German? No. Polish is a Slavic language. It's nothing like German at all. If you want to compare Polish to any other languages, you'd be comparing it to other Slavic languages. But even the other Slavic languages, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Russian, they have a lot of words that are similar, but they're still very different from each other.
Now we must be patient.
Did I eat a lot on Thanksgiving? I did. Pro, a psychopath person like Dmitry Raskolov can be considered an evil person? Yeah, Dmitry is definitely an evil person. What countries do I want to travel to? You know what I wanted to go? I want to visit Hokkaido in Japan, and I wanted to go there in the winter, but yeah, obviously not this winter. Maybe next winter. Is Dutch a psychopath? No, I don't think he's a psychopath. Did you see my text about my YouTube channel? Wait, where did you send this text? What is the best Polish food? All up to opinion. Is the boss a psychopath or a sociopath? If it wasn't for the boss, I would say, is more of a sociopath. If he didn't care about his gang lieutenants, then I would say he's a psychopath. Everything else, but he's very much a cold-blooded killer. What a lot of people don't understand is that the people say that Nico in GTA 4 is like one of the coldest characters in the GTA game. But what they don't understand is that the boss in Saints Row 2 is way colder than Nico. The boss in Saints Row 2 is way colder than Nico. The boss will do much worse things than Nico will. Like one of the psychotic moments was when the boss put Marrow's girlfriend in the trunk of a car and then put her in the monster truck rally and basically tricked Marrow into crushing his own girlfriend to death and then had basically mocked him over it. So that was yeah. Fishing challenge in 10 minutes. Okay, Brendan.
Be nice to have just 5 minutes when nothing hurts.
Oh, Victor Reznov. What update for Red Dead Redemption 2 would you like to see? Thank you, Reznov, for this super chat. I'd like to see, like, a property update, and, I would like to see an update where maybe you can craft a home. I think that would be, like, really cool. Where, imagine you have to go out in the world, and you have to go and, like, collect resources, and then you can, like, build, like, a house. Like, you can get logs together, and you can build a house, and you can get, like, yeah, logs, other materials for, like, building the house, and you put it all together, clay and other stuff, and you slowly, like, build the house that you want to build. Then you choose, like, where to move around furniture and stuff. I think that would be actually a really cool update. Q&A stream? Well, I did a Q&A stream, like, a few weeks ago for 1 million subscribers, which, again, I want to thank everybody for the support on that, and your support means a lot to me. But I do Q&A on most of my streams. Like, most of my streams I'll be reading comments and stuff and answering them. Is Red Dead Online dead? Well, thank you, Bambi. I mean, no, I'm not saying it's dead, but it's dying. Most evil GTA protagonist and why Claude? Claude has no remorse for any actions. Claude has no sense of honor or loyalty or anything. Claude will do anything. He doesn't care what it is, as long as he gets paid. So he will kill anybody. He'll do anything horrible as long as he gets paid. He'll betray anybody. He has no loyalty to anyone. Claude is definitely the most evil GTA protagonist of all time.
I hate feeling like an old woman. Very good work recently. Cripps was right about you.
Per, what's your opinion on Johnny Gat? Oh, he's a very interesting character. Johnny's a pretty much Johnny's strange because Johnny is a bit sadistic in that he enjoys violence. He actually because a lot of, like, you know, a lot of other gangsters, for instance, they will, like, they'll engage in violence, but primarily, like, you know, to fight other gangs and stuff like that, and violence to make money. But Johnny, on the other hand, likes making money, but he also engages in violence because he just enjoys violence. Oh, that's you, that's you, Rajiv. Yes, I got your message about the Vice City Definitive Edition, video. I'll take a look at it a little bit later, man. How do you get so much gold? Oh, the gold that I have, it's just me grinding over time, like completing missions, doing daily challenges, you know, stuff like that. No, Johnny's not a psychopath. Johnny wouldn't. Johnny loved Aisha, so he's not a psychopath in that because of that. A psychopath doesn't love anyone. Would you consider playing through Assassin's Creed Rogue? It offers an interesting take on the Assassin-Templar conflict. The thing is, though, is Assassin's Creed Rogue is actually my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Thank you, Belle. The thing is, a lot of GTA YouTubers feel they can't make a difference, but the thing is they can. Well, what do you mean specifically, Jill? Can you explain what you mean by that? And I want to answer that question, but if you could explain a little bit more what you mean with your point. Will I ever play Sleeping Dogs? Oh yeah, you betcha. I'll play Sleeping Dogs 100%. I don't know when, but I'll do it. But the thing I don't understand is, why do we not have more Templar games? Like, why not? Why are there no more, how long is that fishing challenge gonna be in? Why do we have so many Assassin's Creed games, and I know the premise is that you play as the Assassins, I fully understand that. But Rogue did something different where you actually played as, like, a Templar. And, like, I want another Templar game. And, you know, I don't want, like, a game where you play as a Templar and then, like, halfway through he's like, oh, I'm a bad guy or whatever, something like that. I want to see, like, an actual, like, Templar perspective on, like, the story and stuff like that. Like, kind of like what they did with Rogue, but I'd like to see it in, like, a different time period. And with a different character, too. So I'd like to see that. You play Battlefield? Yeah, I played a new Battlefield game, but I don't know if I'm just enjoying it as much. Like, Battlefield 1 is probably my favorite Battlefield game. And, like, you know, in Battlefield 1, like, when I fired the guns, they felt, like, smoother and stuff like that. It was, like, it was easier for me to shoot people and stuff, even though they were, like, World War I weapons. But in Battlefield 2042, sometimes it feels harder to shoot people with these guns. Like, it's just not, I don't feel it's as smooth. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like there's something different in the gun combat in that, like, does anyone else know what I'm talking about? Like, in Battlefield 1, I could easily kill people, but, like, in 2042, it's a lot harder to kill people, in that one, The challenge in 3 minutes, okay. Well, I did Max Payne 3, my favorite assassin in the games, either Ezio or Altair. To make GTA Online a realistic, gritty crime drama, have Rockstar make a separate lobby for the RPG-style realistic play. You could start a petition to demand it. I'll tell you something, though, Jill. I like where you're coming from, but I don't think that it would do anything, honestly, because we've done petitions before, like, you know, petitions that have been promoted for, like, you know, oppressor. I don't remember if I promoted a petition to stop the Oppressor Mark II. I think I might have a few years ago, but it was like, there's been petitions that have been proposed, and Rockstar hasn't done anything. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I know this is not GTA Online, but in terms of Red Dead Online, I made a petition to reverse the daily challenges to what they once were, because the daily challenges used to give you much more, and past 28 days they would still go on. But now they give you much less. And so I made a petition, and it got like thousands of signatures to reverse the daily challenges to what they once were. And not only that, but other Red Dead YouTubers started sharing my petition. He was, I think PvP Cats, I think he shared it, and Hazard also shared it. So I had 2 other Red Dead YouTubers that shared my petition, and we were all talking about this, and this petition got like thousands of, you know, signatures to revert the daily challenges to what they were. Rockstar never did it. No response, nothing, ever. And so, like, I even told people to bombard the feedback page. I put on the feedback page that you're not okay with this, but no, it did nothing. So I really don't think, and I like where you're coming from, I agree with it, you know, I think GTA Online should be more, you know, dark, you know, in terms of, like, crime and stuff like that, you know, it should be, like, kind of, like, have that dark theme like GTA 4, but it's just, I don't think that a petition would really do much, because Rockstar is just, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes. It's like you're just not going to get through to them. They're not even going to respond to you at all. What's my opinion on Susato from Great Ace Attorney Chronicles? I mean, I think I liked Susato more than Maya in the original Ace Attorney games. Because in Ace Attorney, in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Susato helps a lot more during the trials. Like, she reads up on a lot of the information, and she's very well educated on what's going on. Maya helps in the Ace Attorney games, but she also makes a lot of jokes about food and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily like that all the time. Are you still here, Jonathan? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm gonna start a fishing challenge, is that okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Will we see pros speak Polish one day in a video? Yes. When I do SOCOM 3. In SOCOM 3, the final part of the campaign is in Poland. So there's like, there's the first part is North Africa, the second part is, I believe it's Bangladesh in Southeast Asia, and then there's the third part is in Poland, and in the Polish campaign, in that one, I'll be translating, when I get to it one day, I'll be translating a lot of what the allies and the enemies say in that one, because I played SOCOM 3, the subtitles that they have for the Polish characters in SOCOM 3, it's not completely correct. It's like part of it is correct, yes, but it's like they leave out certain things on, like, what the characters are saying exactly. There was a super chat, this game is worth playing. But just look it up, SOCOM 3, Poland, and, like, you'll see. And the voice actors actually, I think, did a pretty good job in that section. Is this game even worth playing? Thank you, Easy. I think it is. You know, it's a fun game to play for friends and stuff like that, and definitely a fun game to enjoy. But, if you're playing this by yourself, you're not really gonna have fun. Because GT Online is a game that you can play more solo, but Reddit Online focuses a lot on, like, on what would I say, like, you know, team playing the posse and stuff. You from Poland? No, my parents are. Is that two bodies in the water right there? What the? Okay.
Yeah, actually, if you put some bodies in the water of an animal or a person, it attracts fish for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I found that about a month ago.
Is that like, that has to be like a glitch or something? Or like the fish eat people or something in this game?
No, but it's possible that the blood sense.
Do I believe in zodiac signs? Not really, no. I'm not like, I don't really, you know, I don't really believe in, like, you know, stuff like that. Or, I mean, I would say more of I don't know. Because I consider myself more of an agnostic. So, like, I don't know.
What do people mean by zodiac signs?
I think, I'm not an expert on it, but I think it means that, like, you're born with, like, a certain sign, and that kind of determines what kind of person you are, or, like, you know, but it's, I don't think that necessarily always is accurate. I think that's more something that's done for fun.
Yeah.
Why don't you have much hair? What do you mean? What, you mean that I cut my hair? You know, you know, I occasionally, you know, sometimes I'll have longer hair, other times, you know, I cut my hair after some time. I cut my hair on my own, so that's just what I've always done, and I always, like, you know, I cut it down pretty short, and then I don't have to go to a barber for some time, and so I just, you know, I've just always done it myself. I don't mind, like, a little bit longer hair or shorter hair, but it's just, you know, whatever, for me. I just don't like really long hair. I can't find any fish right now, too. I'm having such
Yeah, I
bad
found a
luck.
spot. I found the fish pretty easy.
But is it the small fish? Because I'm looking for the medium to large fish.
Yeah, it's medium. It's just found two. It's about well.
Oh, I think this will be
It's a
good here. finally.
2.35 kilograms.
How
And
many
I'm
pounds
using
is
the
that?
Revolo. Good question. I said that in kilograms because I don't know how much pound is it.
My dad always does that too, because my dad's been in this country for a few decades, but even he still says pounds, because in America we use pounds, where most of the other world uses kilograms. But my dad will like measure everything in like kilograms. So even when he has like something in pounds, he'll somehow like he'll estimate it in kilograms, and I'm just like, can you please say it in pounds? It's I don't know how to read kilograms at all. I know kilograms. I'm pretty sure kilograms are worth a lot more than pounds, but it's just.
Yeah, it's I think that a kilogram is about 3 pounds. I think, but I don't want to start a fight or something. But according to physics, the imperial system is a bit too old. So, besides the part that where I live, we use the metric system. As someone who learns engineering, it's much more easy to use the metric system than to use the imperial system.
Hello, Pro. Sorry I'm late. I was up to a lot, but I'm here now. You're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you, Android. Thank you, man. For the super chat. But about the measurement system is if like I don't know really anything about engineering, so I can't say about that. But like if it's easier to do engineering in kilograms, then when you go for like an engineering degree, you should learn how to measure kilograms and everything like that for the degree. But like in schools itself, I don't think it's really bad if kids are like taught to learn how to count kilograms. But I think it would be bad if you try to teach people to measure things in kilograms instead of pounds, because like imagine trying to change everything from pounds to kilograms in America, and then there's a lot of people that aren't in school anymore that don't know how to measure that, and I think that would be a disaster. America's just used to pounds for just been a long time, and the same thing with Fahrenheit. The whole world uses like Celsius, but America uses Fahrenheit, and so Americans are very used to Fahrenheit. I don't think that you could really change that, because I think that they would cause a lot of problems if you went to Celsius.
But the funny thing is that the British who invented the imperial system actually uses the metric system.
I think they're hiding dislikes to YouTube is to protect the big corporations from getting disliked of. Oh yeah, Mario, I agree with you. I mean, look at Rockstar Games, for instance. Why am I not getting any fish here? Look at Rockstar with like the do I have the right one on? This is a river, right? Yeah, this is a river. Why am I not getting any fish? Okay, but like, look at Rockstar, for instance. They got dislike bombed on that expanded and enhanced thing. And now whenever you go to the expanded and enhanced, you don't know what the true dislike count is anymore. Well, I mean, some people don't have the dislikes disappeared yet, but eventually they're gonna go away for everyone. And you wanna know something? I got recommended a scam on YouTube the other day. Like, a scam video was recommended to me. And it pissed me off, because, like, previously you could see the dislikes on, like, a video. You click on a video like that, it's too good to be true, and you click on the video, you see the dislikes. The dislike bar has saved people from getting scammed. It saved people from getting clickbaited. And now, with this garbage, the dislike bar's gone, you can't see the scam, how much the scam videos, the dislikes on them. And what scam video did I get recommended? It was an ad. So it was actually a paid YouTube ad, and it said like free Milwaukee power tools or something like that, and it said like all you gotta do is go to the website and like leave a review and everything like that, and you get a bunch of free power tools delivered to you in like 2 days. And the thing is, that seemed like really suspicious to me, because like why are they doing an advertisement, a paid one, for like power tools that they're gonna give to you for free? Those tools didn't look cheap to me, like what was on those pictures. And they're gonna send this stuff people for free just for like doing a simple review. And not only that, like in real life, a large corporation might send out like some expensive products to a few hundred people and might say like give us they might say like like, oh damn, I missed a fish, but they might say like, give us a review and we'll send you the product for free, but only maybe like a few hundred people at max, not like thousands of people like this ad was recommended. This ad was saying like, thousands of people are going to get power tools for free. The corporation's not going to make any money if it does something like that, so the whole thing just seemed suspicious to me. It made no sense, and the thing is, when I looked at the comment section, it was even more like suspicious, because it was like, I would click on the comments, and like all the comments were like, great product, amazing, I got it on time. Like, it was nothing descriptive. Like, it was nothing more than that. It was also like a sentence long, great product, that's it. And whenever I clicked on these like YouTube accounts, they would have barely any subscribers, maybe like 1 or 2 videos, and that was just it. The whole thing seemed like staged to me. It was clearly like a scam. And then I was like 95% sure that it was a scam, but I still wasn't like 100% sure. And then all I had to do was go on YouTube and just on Google and just type in Milwaukee free power tools like review. And I got a bunch of like pages that came up, warning, power tool scam, do not fall for this, like right away. So at that point I'm like, yeah, this is a scam. And that was a paid YouTube ad. So like YouTube messed up on that. Like, isn't YouTube supposed to check these ads when they're like, when they're put on there? So basically you're making people vulnerable, because when somebody sees a paid YouTube ad, they're like, oh, that was approved by Google, so then it has to be legitimate, right? And then they're gonna get scammed. So it's just, that, man, I sucked at fishing today. I've been here and I'm not even getting anything, but it just personally pisses me off that, like, you had crap like this happen now. What are your thoughts on the Call of Duty campaign for this year? I didn't finish it yet. I'm at Vanguard. I'm at Vanguard. I'm at the North Africa part. The North Africa missions is what I just got up to. What I'll say is some of the missions were really good in the Vanguard campaign. I think the best missions in the campaign were the Pacific missions and the Stalingrad missions. I think those were the best missions in the campaign. Yeah, I messed up. I didn't even get anything. I suck. I'm normally really good at the fishing. I don't know why I'm doing so poorly today. I have the special spinner, but it's only 10 seconds left, so I don't know why I did horrible today in fishing. I normally do pretty good. Oh yeah, and that's the thing, Jill, is that when you do the when you do those missions, like the paramedic missions and the firefighter missions, do those before do them before you get up to the part in the campaign, because early in the campaign in GTA 3 in the story, you don't piss any gangs off, but by the end of the game, pretty much every single gang you piss off. The only 2 gangs that I know that don't open fire on you in GTA 3 at the end of the game are the Yakuza, and then there's also the Hoods in Shoreside Vale. But other than that, like, every single other gang opens fire on you. The Yardis open fire on you, the Diablos open fire on you, the Leonis open fire on you, the Triads open fire on you. So it's like GTA 3 is like a war zone when you beat it. Like, it's like there's very few neighborhoods that you can go to without being open fire on. Like, it's just it's just that Liberty City is just dangerous in GTA 3.
Sounds fun, what can I say?
Yeah. And I heard from people that they said that GTA 3 didn't fix the Leone shotgun problem. Is that true? That the Leones in GTA 3, they still have those annoying shotguns? Is that really true? When you try to drive into St. Mark's? I'll have to test that. But I heard from people, they said that it's still there, and it's still broken with the Leones. No, people are saying it's true. Yes, Leones instantly blow up your car. You think they'd fix that. And the thing is, that wasn't even like a glitch. That wasn't even like a glitch, but it was something that the developer should seriously consider changing. Even though it's part of the game, that's not fun. Like, the fact that you drive through St. Mark's and you get blown up instantly, that's not fun. You have, like, no chance to defend yourself. Like, I don't mind if they have the Leones shoot at you, but, like, give them handguns or, like, mini Uzis. Like, the little submachine gun that's in the game. Don't give them the damn pump-action shotguns. You know, and you know what? The way that Rockstar is, like, how stupid Rockstar is, and, like, and how, you know, how Grove Street Games, how they handled like the definitive edition. You know what they would probably do? They would probably say, "Oh, you don't want the Leonis to have pump action shotguns? Okay, we're gonna give them AK-47s and M16s now." That's probably what they would do. And you know, the M16 is like a damn minigun in like in GTA 3. So that's probably what they would do. If I could make a suggestion about a Vanguard lore video, a video about the character of Herman Fruz Singer, who is based on the real-life Heinrich Müller, the chief of the Gestapo. Oh, well, I didn't know that he was actually based on a real person. I could possibly do that. Thank you, Bell, for the super chat. Thank you, man. What's the last time you played the Red Dead Redemption 2 story online?
BBC report?
Wait, what did you say, Jonathan?
Have you seen the story of the BBC reporter that said 7 years ago Hitler was right? She got fired.
Wait, what happened?
You had a BBC report, which was very anti-Semitic, that she said that Hitler was right.
Oh my god, this is...
She wrote that on Twitter. Yeah.
I'll do the Yakuza series one day, I don't know when. Bro, you still can't jump out of a moving car from GTA 3, oh man. Well, I'm gonna be playing GTA 3 next after I finish San Andreas. Yeah, Brandon, after this mission, I'll help you sell your goods, okay? Oh, I hate this mission where you gotta, like... Yeah, you gotta look for, like, clues and stuff like this, Whoa, whoa. Okay, no. That was close. Killing animals will make Harriet angry with you, yeah. So apparently I'm supposed to get mauled to death. That's the better solution, right? Probably gonna get on my horse here. Oh, I found him. Yeah, the Cold War campaign wasn't bad. It was just short, that was my complaint. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I think that target's dead now. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is just...
What happened?
Yeah, I got murdered by a bear. And one of the targets got murdered by a bear as well.
I guess another one of the targets got murdered.
Okay,
by
only
a
one of
bear.
them survived.
Just please. Oh, good Lord! Shit!
I gotta say, confess professional. Call of Duty Vanguard stick the landing perfectly on creating their version of war stories from Battlefield 1 and 5. Well, thank you, Dead Spectre, for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, the story's fun in Vanguard. I think the best one was probably World at War, but...
You'll pay for this!
Okay, let's deliver them at, like, around, like, 5 minutes. We'll make a little bit more money, and we'll help Brandon with his... Oh, great. Got this. And he's probably cheating here, isn't he? Well, I'm parlaying right now. I didn't even see him on the map right now, so it's not even on the map appearing. There we go, I parlayed. Yeah, look, the guy's not even on the map right now.
He's trying to shoot me with the...
Well, he can't do anything because he's been parlayed right now.
No, but I think he hasn't opened Reddit Online since 2018. Because he's tried to kill me with a vomit rifle.
He tried to kill you with a varmint rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 187. He's not a very low rank, but he's not a high rank either. You see, that this is what I like about Reddit Online, is that like, when there's an idiot that, you know, does something like that in this game and just griefs and harasses people, you can just parlay them, and they can't kill you for 10 minutes. Sure, they can leave and try to rejoin. He's probably gonna rejoin, but I'm just gonna do it again. I'm gonna parlay him again if he does it. I'm turning on defensive mode right now, so...
They should actually take down the recent menu.
Yeah, the recent... You shouldn't be able to join for recent players. I kind of get why the recent players is in there so that you can add people that you played with, but you shouldn't be able to join people off of it. That shouldn't be a feature. There's defensive mode enabled. So yeah, Reddit Online just handles like Reddit Online just handles like griefers and just that type of situation much better. Like, you know, you can deal with them much easier. You don't have to deal with all this nonsense. Like on GTA Online is like the worst PvP I think I've ever seen in the game. Like it's just so bad. What is the point of doing the bounty? What are you going to spend the money on? Or just doing it mostly for fun, not even for money. We'll get a little bit of money, but we're doing it mostly for fun. Because, like, we're multi-millionaires in Reddit Online. Like, people think 179,000? Oh, that's not a lot of money. 179,000 is a lot of money. That's, like, that's equivalent to, like basically $180 million in GTA Online. That's how much that money is right there. So that's, like $1,000 is $1 million, basically, in GTA Online in this game. So.
I just stopped grinding when they hit $10,000. Just, I don't see the need to grind anymore. When there's an update that's coming out, I can buy everything and still have like $7,000 remaining and grind it back. So I don't see the need to have $200,000.
New subscriber, thank you, Edward. Thanks for subscribing, man. Red Dead Redemption isn't a horse riding simulator. What are you talking about?
If Red Dead Online is a horse riding simulator, then GTA Online is what? The griefing simulator? Oh,
and by the way, you guys know that a lot of my San Andreas and like my San Andreas and Saints Row 2 videos have been getting demonetized by YouTube, and they're getting limited, like, they've gotten, like, limited ads, and, like, YouTube keeps marking them as not advertiser friendly, for foul language. That's what they keep, demonetizing them for that. Not every one of the videos, but a few of them have gotten demonetized by YouTube.
Pardon my language, but this is just bullshit.
The thing is, though, I think it's so stupid because, like, you know, this idea that, like, some large corporation is basically be like, oh, CJ said the F word in, like, San Andreas, we can't advertise on this video anymore. It's like, who cares? Really, I don't really curse in my videos even, but it's just, who cares if the characters in the game, like, curse? Like, it's just, some people are just way too sensitive today. It's just, like, I don't understand that, why they would get all mad about, like, characters in it's a gangster game. Of course they're gonna curse. It's okay, let's wait until 3 minutes. Get a little bit more here. Violence is okay, but not naughty words makes sense. Well, thank you, Mario. Well, it's not even violence, it's virtual violence, but it's, but I get where you're coming from. It's, okay, I'm gonna deliver this target. Let's help Brandon now, 'cause I promised Brandon I'd help him with his sale. I also got a lore video coming out on GTA 4. It's gonna be a really good one, guys. Just please be patient with me. And it'll be a really good one when it comes out.
Enjoy.
Okay. Here we go, okay. Congrats on 1 million, thank you. Bro, did you get 100% completion on the story mode for Red Dead Redemption 2? No, I haven't. Bro, that 1 million sure does look awesome. I'm proud of all your hard work paying off. Thank you, Steven. Thanks, man. Hey Pearl, how was your Thanksgiving Day? It was good, Gabriel. How are you? Do you watch anime? If so, what's your favorite? I love watching anime, but when I watch anime, there's very limited, like, anime that I'll watch, even though I like the show, just the style. But generally, when I watch anime, it has to generally be something like crime, like gangsters, or like history, or like war. Something like that. If it's like, science fiction, like with some big mech suits, or it's like magic, I'm not gonna really watch it, because I'm not interested in those types. But, like, the majority of the anime that I've seen, it's either, like, some mech robot, like, stuff, or it's, like, or it's some magic stuff. And I survived the bounty hunters. What? Who's...
Oh, dang.
Who's this?
Someone started a bounty.
Oh, no,
Somebody started a bounty mission.
No, Anomalous started up the bounty mission. He might just be trolling, but it's a friend that's doing it. But I'll tell you, if you want to know some of the anime that I've liked, my favorite anime of all time, out of all the ones that I've seen, is Golden Kamuy. Look that one up. That one takes place after the Russo-Japanese War. It's like 1905, so it's like 9 years before World War I. And it's in, like, Hokkaido, Japan, and, like, the story of that is that, like, this prisoner had, like, this huge, vast amount of gold, and he hid it somewhere. and he drew like the map on these other prisoners, tattooed it on them, and then there was like a prison break where most of the prisoners escaped, and so the characters in the show are like trying to find the gold. And it has a lot of historical weapons for the time period too. I was actually surprised by the fact that they got a lot of the weapons historically accurate, right? Like they have the Japanese Arasaka, they have that one, the old Arasaka, the Type 30. They have that one in the show. They have the Arasaka, the Japanese revolver. I'm trying to remember what that was called. And then they had the Russian weapons. They had like the Mosin Nagant, and then they had like the Nagant revolver. They also had like the Maxim gun. So I was just surprised by the accuracy in a lot of the weapons that they had in that show. And also another thing that I was surprised by in that show is just the amount of historical research that they did. Because like there was a lot of, it's pretty much a historical anime too. In that show, the one part of the show takes place in the very eastern part of Russia. It takes place in, what's the island called? Sakhalin something island. It's with an S. I'm trying to remember. But it's part of Russia today. But like after the Russo-Japanese War, Japan took like half of it. It's that big island in Russia that's right above Hokkaido. And in the show, they actually have characters that actually have Polish ancestry. So they actually have certain characters where they're part Polish. And you might be wondering, why are there like characters that are like part Polish in like Eastern, like all the way in the Far East, in like Japan and like in like Eastern Russia in like 10 years before World War I? The reason for that is because those characters that have like Polish background in the show were actually descended from people that were deported to the east of Russia. Because what happened was when Russia was still an empire and they had the Tsar, the Eastern Poland was occupied by the Tsar. And if the Tsar, if he didn't like you, he would send you to like a work camp in Siberia, and he would send you like really far out west, where it wasn't even in Europe anymore. It was in Asia at that point. And so a lot of those people, like, they never returned, and they settled in life in like the very eastern parts of Russia, and that's a real thing. And they have that in the show, which I was very impressed by, that they actually talked about that in the show, because a lot of people don't know that part of history. A lot of Polish people were actually deported far east by the Tsar. The Soviets did it also, but what a lot of people don't know is that the Russian king was actually the first person to actually build the work camps in Siberia. Because a lot of people think that the Soviets were the ones who started the original Gulag system, but it was actually the Russian Tsar. The Tsar was the Russian king, was actually the one who built the first Gulags. When the Soviets came to power, they expanded the Gulag network and they built hundreds more. But the Russian king was actually the first one who actually built them. You can actually go on Google and look it up, like, you know, Russian Empire's Gulag system, and you'll actually see that they were the ones who started it. So when people tell me that the Russian king was a good guy, I basically say to them, why did he build camps that he deported people to, like work camps in the middle of Siberia? Why did he commit these grave human rights violations? I'm not defending the Soviets. The Soviets were, you know, scummy, terrible people as well. But I'm saying that people think that generally because the Tsar fought against the Soviets, they thought that the Tsar is a good guy. The Tsar was not a good guy. The Tsar was a terrible human being. But that was, you know, a part of history that a lot of people don't seem to know about. But they explored that part in Golden Kamuy, the anime, which I actually appreciated that they explored that history, and they talked about how bad the Tsar was and stuff. But also, another theme that I like about that show is I like how the, let me help Brandon here. And Brandon, can you invite my friend Jonathan or Jan to the posse? But what I like about Golden Kamuy is that in that show, like, every single, like, there are no good or bad guys in that show. That's what I like about the show. Like, every single character has their own motivation for wanting to get the gold. And, like, certain characters want to get the gold to get rich. Other characters want to get the gold for political means. Like, they want to start a revolution and stuff like that. And so, like, there's, like, all these, like, different motivations. Like, there's, like, 3 or 4 different groups that want to get the gold. And they're all fighting, they come in contact with each other, certain parts they work together, certain parts they fight each other, like it's, and I don't know how this show is eventually gonna end, because it had 3 seasons, it's based on a manga, and there's gonna be more seasons coming up, I'm assuming, but, I think nobody's gonna get the gold at the end, that's at least what I think, but I like that, how there's no good or bad guys in the show, and when you watch the show, you kind of basically form your own opinion of all the characters and their motivations and stuff like that, and, I generally like that about that anime. What is this? Who the hell is this guy? Okay, I don't know what that was about. He's opened fire on me for no reason. Oh, there's a witness? No, this is not a murder. This was self-defense. Like, it's like the guy just attacked me just now. Like, what is this witness's problem? No. Okay, no. This is not... No. Okay, one moment, everyone here. Ah. Okay, wait, are you guys able to hear me right now? Okay, wait, okay, hang on. Alright, yeah, there was a little bit of an issue with OBS just now. OBS had, like, some issue. Are you guys able to hear the game? I don't hear the game on my end, but, that's weird. Let me see here. Oh, wait, hang on a second here. Okay, are you guys able to hear me now? I think I fixed the mic. I don't know what is going on right now. Are you able to hear me now? Let's see. Okay, hang on. And also, Jonathan, I don't know if you've been talking, but I can't hear anything in the party right now too. Wait. I don't know why I'm having sound issues right now. This just sucked. Okay, that was okay. Okay, now all I gotta do is just get the game audio back. Okay, one moment here. Try to do this here right now. Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, I think I finally fixed everything. Oh my god, okay, there was it. Okay. Can everyone hear me now? Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can
Okay,
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you now. Okay. I'm sorry. For everyone that was wondering what the hell just happened, like, OBS had, like, a crash. It was weird. Like, I had a notification that came up on my screen, and it said OBS has crashed. But OBS didn't crash. It was still running. And it messed up all my settings. And I had to, you know, get the mic back in again. I had to set up the mic. I had to set up the capture card. Like, it was just that. There was no audio from it. But, you know, now I fixed this stuff here. Okay, let me get on over to Brandon, here, and I'll help you. Where's Brandon's, moonshine? Oh, it's all the way over there.
It's near Tumbleweed.
Okay. Let me get on over here. I'm gonna go to Valentine and just fast travel from there.
You have the wilderness camp.
I think I still have that glitch with the wilderness camp, though, where I can't fast travel.
No, it's not a glitch. You need to go to your notes and read it again. I had it for a month until I found out about it.
I need to go to my notes. Yeah, I guess then. It's under what?
It's under pamphlets, I think.
Do I have a girlfriend?
Oh,
no, I don't
No,
really date.
it's under skill pages, not under pamphlets.
What is this here? Oh, this. I guess I gotta read this again here. Okay. Let's try this again here now. But what I was trying to say before I got cut off by my crash there. Oh, okay, so fast travel's working. The Russian Tsar was not a good guy, despite what people think. When people look at history, they think that the Russian Tsar, they say he fought against the communists, which is true, but that doesn't make him a good person. Just because he fought against the communists and other bad people, that doesn't make the Tsar automatically a good guy. The Tsar did some horrible things to his own people, and also in Eastern Poland, which was occupied by the Russian Empire, the Tsar put a policy of Russification in, and Russification, that was kind of when around the time of World War I, it wasn't as bad, but like decades before that, it was much worse. Where basically Polish people were not allowed to speak Polish in their own land. The majority of the Polish population was Catholics. You know, they were heavily discriminated by the Tsar. The Tsar wanted them to speak only Russian and practice Russian Orthodoxy. So Polish Catholics and Polish Jews were targeted by the Russian Tsar. The Russian Tsar gave them barely any rights. He treated them like they weren't people. And so the Tsar was just not a good guy. He was a really bad guy, but a lot of people in history don't know that about the Tsar. But just go on Google and just type in like bad things the Russian Tsar did, and you'll like see it. But I don't think that the Russian Tsar's crimes are talked about that much in history. But that anime show that I was talking about, Golden Kamuy, and that's why I'm bringing it back, Golden Kamuy, it actually brought that up the bad things that Tsars did. And it was really scary because, like, when you were, if you were alive in Poland, like, around that time, imagine being told that you can't speak Polish, and that you can only speak, Russian now, and you can't practice your religion. And now being told that if you tried to speak Polish, or if you taught your kids Polish in secret, because a lot of like parents would teach their kids like Polish in secret, if the imperial authorities actually caught you doing that, they would actually send you to a work camp in the middle of Siberia. So that was what they did. Beat the original San Andreas Yesterday Pro. Also, what are your favorite radio ads in the GTA series? Thank you, Mario. As you like this theme, I suggest you play Bioshock series, a good game. Thank you, Gabriel.
Spanish.
What?
The Spanish had the same rules for Jews and Muslims in the 16th century.
Oh yeah, and the Spanish, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here. The Spanish were some of the worst, like, they were some of the worst colonizers in the New World. Trying to figure out how to get down here. Can somebody show me how to get down here? It's just nighttime, so I'm just getting a little confused. I don't want to knock this thing over here. I guess I'll follow this horse here and try to get down here. Oh, I'm not ignoring your super chat. It's just I had audio issues before, and I just got it back under control, and now I'm just trying to get this. Oh no! Come on, horse, get up, get up. Okay. I got it here. Okay, ooh. Okay, I was trying to get it down there. Let me see.
Sticks and stones can break my horse.
You made a super chat earlier, Herlock. I can't seem to find it. If you just you don't have to super chat. Again, just let me know what your question is, and I'll try to answer it. I'm sorry I didn't see it. You know what I was saying is that the Spanish, for instance, when they colonized, like, what is modern day South America, anyone that was not from native Spain, they treated like garbage. Like, they were really bad. Like, I'm trying to remember what the term was, because I forgot the terms. Somebody in the chat probably knows, but the Spanish had this really stupid system that if you were not born in Spain, then you were like then you had like less rights. That was just like their policy. And so even though you were in their colony, if you were born in their colony, you had less rights if you were not born in Spain. And so like the aristocratic, like the Spanish aristocrats, they would actually take their kids like all the way across the ocean. Well, before they were even born, they would take their pregnant wives like all the way across the ocean just to make sure their kids were born in Spain, because even the aristocrats' kids would be treated like badly, and so they would then go back to the colonies. But that was
I think it was the Inquisition.
No, the Spanish Inquisition, that was a religious like event in Spain, and it was just where they were putting people up on trial for ridiculous things, and they would burn people alive. That was the Inquisition. What I'm talking about is more of what was going on in like the colonies in South America. But you know, the thing is, the same thing happened in, well, I won't say the same thing, but the British, when the British occupied the 13 colonies, they treated Americans pretty badly. They didn't, or they weren't technically Americans yet, but they treated the colonists pretty badly. Like, it wasn't as bad as the Spanish did. The Spanish were much worse than the British in the New World, but the British, basically, Americans at the time, they were not considered British. And they were not able to vote for the, they didn't have representation in Parliament. That's what the whole Revolutionary War was about. There was no taxation without representation. And the British authorities, the aristocrats, they would actually get angry if you tried to describe yourself as British. So if you were born in the colonies and you tried to describe yourself as British, they would say you're not British, even if you had, like, British parents. They would say, you're a colonist. You're not British. You're the colonists. And it was a very, like, you know, insulting term that they would say. And so basically, the patriots, their argument was, you know, if we're not considered British and we're not given equal rights as citizens, then we're not part of your country. And they were right. So that was it. And that was like Britain's ultimate, like, downfall in America. Is that they, if they could have avoided the entire American Revolution, like the whole thing, and America today might even be like, you know, like Canada, it might still have like massive ties to Britain, but because they treated them really badly, didn't give them as equal representation, you know, described them as colonists and not British citizens, you know, this all backfired and blew up in their face.
But
here's
Spain did in South.
What'd you say?
Spain did in South America. I said what did Spain did in South America, and they destroyed entire religions and cultures.
Oh yeah, they the Spanish had, you know, committed horrible atrocities in the New World when they had the conquistadors. The conquistadors were psychopaths. You know, they would go into a civilization, conquer it, and just, you know, kill the people, and they were proud of it. They would come back to Spain and they would be treated as heroes for destroying like a civilization. Oh, it was no question, but a little thanks for the Ace Attorney playthrough. Well, thank you, Herlock. I like the story when Tsar Nicholas was inaugurated. He told everyone he would give the people free bread or pretzels, and it caused a stampede which killed thousands of Russian. Yeah, that one I remember. There was another one where there was protests that were, there was a protest that was going on in, I think it was St. Petersburg, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a protest that was going on in St. Petersburg, and what happened was, it was led by like a Russian priest, and he had like a petition of like hundreds of people to like, for the Tsar to improve working conditions, and basically they tried to march on the palace, and the Russian white forces, because that's what they were called, the monarchists were called the white forces, they just opened fire on the crowd. They just opened fire on like a bunch of like, you know, peaceful like demonstrators, and just, they killed tons of people. I think that event was called Bloody Sunday in Russia, but that's something that Tsar did.
No, Bloody Sunday was in the UK when...
there are a few Bloody Sundays. There's one in the UK, I know that, I know what you're talking about. But then there was the one in Russia. I'm pretty sure the one in Russia was also called Bloody Sunday. I would have to look it up again, but that one and that shows you why the Soviets. That's why the Soviets were so easily able to take over Russia, because the Tsar was a bad guy. Like, everybody hated his guts. Like everybody. Like, you know, most people, very few people would defend the Tsar. Like his you know. Poles hated him because of just what he did in Poland, but like Russians hated him in general too. Like, he was a very unpopular leader. He was like you know, he also got them involved in the Russo-Japanese War, which that almost bankrupted Russia. So that's, you know, ultimately, you know, if Russia had better leadership, and if they had like an actual like good leader who actually cared about their people, the Soviets wouldn't have been able to take over. And I'm not defending the Soviets when I say this. The Soviets, were bad people as well. They did horrible atrocities. But the point that I'm making is that one of the reasons they were able to take over Russia so easily was because the Tsar was an absolute idiot. The Tsar was an idiot and a bad guy. So that was why that's one of the reasons. What is modern-day Stalingrad called? Volgograd. Thank you, Awesomeness, for the super chat. Do you think it's more important for games like Vanguard to historical accuracy with guns? I think so. I don't think the firearms should... I don't think they have to go, like, crazy, super historically accurate. But, have some level of accuracy in them. Because, like, some of those weapons that you have in Call of Duty Vanguard are, like, basically, like, prototype, like, really rare weapons. Like, weapons that, like, barely saw any combat use. And they're, like, in Vanguard. And all the gun customization in Vanguard. People like it, but at the same time, it's really unrealistic. Like, all these, like, you can put all these ridiculous barrels and these stocks and all these, like, different, like, sights and scopes on, like, like an MP40 or, like, a Thompson. Like, it's just, some of that stuff, like, makes, like, no sense. Like, there is one configuration that you can have on the PPSH. You can actually take the PPSH and make a PPSH-43, which the PPSH-43 is kind of like a Soviet attempt at their own MP40, where they basically took the original PPSH. I think they had a little bit of a longer barrel, and then they had like a pistol grip on it and a foldable stock. And you can actually take a PPSH and you can actually do that to that in Vanguard. That was actually a real, like, a real thing. But some of the other gun customizations that are in the game, like, the barrel swapping and all the, like when you can take a Mosin Nagant in that game, and, like, it's called the 3-line rifle, and you can put all these ridiculous attachments on it where it doesn't even look like a Mosin Nagant anymore. It looks like something else. Like, you're like, what is this thing anymore at this point? The red dot scope is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, those scopes have, like, no place being in that game. They shouldn't be in that game. There were certain, like, sites, but there was nothing really like that. Like, it wasn't, like, widespread like that. But, like, because of... And the thing is, the problem is, a lot of kids play these games, and so they play a game like Call of Duty Vanguard, and they're gonna think that, like, every single soldier had, like, this ridiculously customized gun with these scopes on it, like, back then. And when that's just not the case. What were you saying, Jonathan?
I have a moonshine cell.
Oh, okay, let me help you with that.
My boss is open.
Pro, you can stock up on canned food for free. Oh, I can? Awesomeness? Where do I have to go? Just the catalog? Then, have you played the Metal Gear games? I've played some of them. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 when I was a kid, but I never really remembered the storyline that well. Raiden was his name? Yeah, Raiden. I think it was like the president or somebody got kidnapped, and then you were on that oil rig, and, like, I remember you ended up like that. There was that general that, like, talked to you, but it turned out he was like a robot. He was like a computer. He wasn't like a real person. I beat that game when I was, like, so young. I was like 7 years old when I beat that game, so it was like so long ago. But, like, I remember the majority of the story, but I don't remember, like, it in detail. Like, remember I told you I was getting my online friend to listen to the radio stations in Vice City? Well, she's listened to Flash and Motion and Wave so far. Vice City does have the best music in the game, Mario.
Yes, but it's a shame that a lot of the good music got taken down.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Also, Jonathan, can you fast travel me inside the moonshine business when you get a chance?
Yeah, I'm on my way now, just waiting to people to...
Do I have any lore video plans for Saints Row 2? Yup, and for Saints Row 1. A lot of people don't know the STG-44 was an assault rifle. Yeah, it was like the STG-44 is like the first assault rifle ever made. And then there's the Automat. Some people argue that was the first assault rifle ever made. Though, like, the STG-44 was like a whole new class of, like, of firearms. Like, that was like, that was very advanced for the time. Very advanced.
You know, a lot of people think that AR-15 stands for assault rifle, but it actually stands for the Armalite rifle.
Yeah, that's true. It's AR-15 is Armalite. It's not assault rifle. I can't believe it's been a year ago since we played Generation Zero. Yeah, we played that May 2020. I remember the month we played that too. STG-44 is like an AK-47, but German. Well, there's these talks that Mikhail Kalashnikov, the guy who made the AK-47, there's people that say that he made the AK-47 based on the STG-44, but there isn't really concrete proof on that. The thing, what
I wouldn't say that because the firing system of the AK-47 is a lot different than the STG-44.
The thing about it is that, you know, the people that attack Kalashnikov over that, and they say, you know, he copied the AK-47 off the STG-44. I don't think they realize that Kalashnikov was a pretty smart guy. You know, he didn't copy the design off of it. There's not really proof of that. And the thing is, Kalashnikov was designing his gun, the AK-47, even before the STG-44 was made. That's what a lot of people that say he copied don't know that. But when he was designing it at first, he was designing, I believe, a submachine gun prototype before he decided to go into a rifle prototype. And he was a tank crewman in World War II, and I believe his tank got knocked out, and he wanted to make like a submachine gun that Soviet tank crews could have, so that they could defend themselves from the Germans. And I don't remember if he actually made a submachine gun, but he eventually made what was known as the AK-47 today.
Tell your boss we have a batch ready to sell.
Okay, I'm starting to understand.
The thing is, though, is that you know something that's crazy. If it wasn't for communism, Kalashnikov would be one of the richest people ever in human history, ever. But because he made the AK-47 in the Soviet Union, he didn't really get that much for it. You know, sure, he was probably able to live a comfortable life, but he wasn't able to, you know, get a lot of money for that design that he made. But, you know, imagine that, the guy that makes the AK-47, imagine how much money that guy would have had if he didn't live in a communist country. That guy would be a massive billionaire, like, equal to, like, Bill Gates. Like, that's how much money the guy who made the AK-47, because that is the #1 assault rifle that's mass-produced in the entire world. That guy would be super, super rich. He's not alive anymore. He passed away like 8 years ago, but if he didn't, if he made that design in, like, America or any other country, he would be one of the richest men ever in human history, ever.
You know that Glock, the person who invited Glock, I don't remember his first name. He was he started as selling selling home equipment and shower curtains.
I didn't know that. What's your feel about modern-day Grand Theft Auto 5? I don't know. I don't really, you know, I don't really enjoy it as much anymore. Like, it's like, I haven't played GTA 5 in months. Like, it's like, I haven't done any of it on my channel, like, really. It's just, I just don't really feel like playing it anymore. Like, I'm just into so many other games right now, and it's like, I've gotten so burnt out of the game. I had 450 days played on GTA Online, so, you know, I had a lot of time played on that game. And, you know, now I'm into other games. I do other content, and I'm very happy with the direction I took my channel in. Very happy. It was definitely, you know, expanding into other games. You know, taking a break from GTA Online was probably the best decision I've ever made on my channel. It also, you know, it also helped me reduce the anxiety and the stress that I was dealing with, because a lot of people don't know I had a lot of stress, like a lot of really bad anxiety when I was doing, like, when I was at my height, doing, like, GTA Online content. I was getting really stressed out. Like, I wasn't sleeping, I was constantly trying to make GTA Online videos, I was going to college, I was working a job at the same time, and it was like, I got so overwhelmed, and it was just, I had people that were like, you know, writing in the comment section cursing me out because I wasn't making, like, a GTA Online video fast enough, and I felt pressured to just make them fast for people and stuff, and it was just, I remember the most stressful month that I've ever had on GTA Online was December of 2019. That was the most stressful time that I've ever had. Right when the casino heist came out, like, I was doing the casino update, the casino heist update, and then I was doing Red Dead Online, Moonshiners. So like the casino heist came out, and then Moonshiners came out one day later, and I was doing a stream on the casino heist, I was doing a stream on the Moonshiners update, and I was trying to make a guide for the casino heist, and I was trying to make a guide for the Moonshiners business, and I was just going back and forth between the. Oh, you didn't need to do that, Jonathan. He was just trolling.
Oh, it was just. Okay.
He was just
okay,
he just does that to troll sometimes. He's cool, but I was getting like so stressed out, and like I had barely any sleep, and then the thing is, and I woke up with barely any sleep, and I would look at the comment section, and people would just say in the comment section, you know, where's the casino heist guide? What are you doing? You're slacking, professional, and stuff, when they don't even realize I spent literally the whole night like making a guide with barely any sleep. And so I had gotten like, I had really bad, you know, stress, I had really bad anxiety, and I started getting stressed out like every Saturday, because every Saturday I would make like a top 5 video on GTA Online, and I was running out of ideas. I didn't really have that many things I could do on it. I didn't want to make a video that was like too similar to my other video, and so I was just getting stressed, like I would spend like hours and hours and hours on my computer trying to think of a video that I could make. Like, I just got so stressed out. I'm not a PvP player, you know, I had PvP videos, but I don't really do that, so I wanted to make, like, you know, educational videos. That's what I always did on GTA Online, like, guides and stuff. And I did all the businesses, I did all the heists, I did all the top 5s that I could think of, and there was really nothing more for me to do, and, people still kept getting, you know, being demanding and stuff like that, and then I remember that, you know, there was people that were spamming my comment section, and they were telling me, you're running out of ideas, do something different. Like, just, I saw so many comments like that, and I did do something different. I started playing different games and doing different content, and then the same people that were posting, saying to me, you know, you're running out of ideas, do something different, why are you playing other games? Why aren't you playing GTA Online? It's like, you literally just told me that I'm running out of ideas, and you told me that to do something different, I do something different, and you're still pissed. So there's like, there's no winning with some people. Like, some people are just gonna be like that no matter what. They're gonna be negative. No matter what you do, some people are just gonna be negative all the time. And I tried my best to try to keep everyone happy and to try to, you know, provide content for everyone, but, you know, it wasn't working out just doing just GTA Online. But, you know, the stuff that I was going through, like, you know, the stuff that I was going through on my channel and stuff, like, it was like, and this is like, one guy says every YouTuber needs a break. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that, like, YouTubers, a lot of times YouTubers don't even take vacations or anything like that. And a lot of people think that YouTubers, that a vacation for them is every day, because they think that all they do is play video games and just record a video. That's it. It's not, they don't calculate the hours that you have to put in to think of an idea. Because you have to think of the video to make in the first place. If you don't think of an idea to make a video, then you have nothing. At least when you have an idea for a video, you can kind of make an outline in your head and even write it down on, like, you know, how the video is going to be and everything like that. But if you have no idea, you have no video in the first place. Then you got to record it. You got to put the you got to write the script. If it's like a long video, you write the script. Most of my videos I don't use a script for, but some of the longer ones, like the lore videos, I all do scripts for. So you gotta make like a script and stuff like that. You gotta put it together. You gotta record the actual gameplay in the game. Sometimes you even have to replay the whole game itself just to get to one point so you can record it. It's just it gets frustrating. The thumbnails, you gotta put in the thumbnails. Then you have to, when you finally process the video, you might have made like one mistake, and that one mistake in the video might have been significant enough to mess up a huge chunk of the video. And so then you gotta go back in the editor, and you gotta find that mistake, you gotta correct it, you gotta put it back together, then you gotta process the video, you upload it. Once you upload the video, you gotta rewatch the video multiple times to make sure there's no mistakes. Check yourself for grammar and everything like that, and that, I'll tell you, that takes hours and hours and hours to do all of that I just said. Like, the playthroughs that I do, like Saints Row 2 and stuff like that, GTA San Andreas, those are relatively easy for the most part. But the lore videos, like some of those, the top 5 videos, those aren't easy to do. The lore videos are the hardest videos to do. Those are hard. Because the amount of research that I have to do, the script that I have to make, I have to record all the characters, I have to rewatch the cutscenes in the game. So I have to watch the cutscenes like 10 times just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Like, for instance, with when I made the Dimitri video on the real reason he betrayed Nico, I had to watch his cutscenes like so many times just to see if I did not miss anything. And there was actually one thing that I missed when I did the Dimitri video, and I ended up putting it in my video at the end. But the one thing that I never noticed about Dimitri when I kept rewatching the cutscenes is that Dmitri says to Nico, in Do You Need Protection, he says to him that Mikhail was not always like this. Something changed years ago. And he started going crazy. And then his wife says the same thing. Mikhail changed. I don't know what it was. And when I was playing this as a kid, I never realized this. And then so many years later, I realized it in GTA 4. The reason that Mikhail changed was because of Dmitri. That was the whole reason they said, like, he changed all of a sudden. It was because Dmitri corrupted him. That was the whole reason for that. And so I put that in my video. That was, like, a really good point. And if I didn't double check, like, all the Dmitri cutscenes again, I probably would have missed that point. So that's why it's really important to, like, you know, double check, like, videos and stuff like that when you're putting them out. You know, double check the cutscenes of the characters that you're going to record on and stuff like that. Let me do a posse here. Okay, let me see here. And also, guys, if the stuff gets blown up, you know, by a grief or whatever, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Okay.
We're doing a trader sale?
Oh, it's gonna be a moonshine sale.
Okay.
Is there, like, any free mode events coming up?
I'll check.
When are you gonna make a Saints Row 2 playthrough? I'm doing it right now.
You have Cold Dead Hands in 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay. Okay, I invited everyone.
Yeah, I'm outside the shack already.
Would I say that Strongheart was a psychopath? When you say Strongheart, are you referring to the Lord Chief Justice and Ace Attorney? Is Strongheart a psychopath? Let me think. He might be. He might very well be, because an easy way, an easy way to tell if somebody is a psychopath, it's not, it's not everything, but it is a good chunk of it, is a psychopath has no conscience. So, they don't care for anyone. They have no love towards anyone. You know, oftentimes they see people as pawns. They see people as somebody they can manipulate. And so, when somebody loves somebody, when somebody shows care for somebody, they're not a psychopath at that point, because psychopaths aren't capable of loving. So, that's, when you want to see if somebody's a psychopath, that's an easy way to tell, is the first thing, see if they love anyone. In Strongheart, I mean, does Strongheart actually care about anyone? No. I think about it, he doesn't. He doesn't even care about Zeke's. He was gonna throw Zeke's, literally he was gonna let him go to prison for something he didn't do. So it was, no, I don't think, yeah, Strongheart might be a psychopath. Strongheart has his own twisted sense of justice, where he thinks he's doing the right thing for his country and everything like that, but, everything he's only done really for himself. He's only done to further his own career, his own agenda. So it's not really about his country or justice in general, it's about himself. So yeah, Strongheart might be a psychopath. You're right on that.
Well, if he isn't a psychopath, then he might be a sociopath.
Yeah, well, did you see Ace Attorney, Jonathan?
I think I'm in the 10th part, I think.
Yeah, oh, you got a lot to go, because that was a pretty long series that I did, but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we have a batch ready
I don't
for
have
shipment,
just
okay?
I don't have a lot of clear
Oh yeah, Catalina's a psychopath. She is. What are the cops based off in real life in San Andreas? When you say cops, you're talking about Tenpenny and Pulaski, aren't you?
But,
I think it means Crash Unit.
Yeah, Tenpenny and Pulaski are based on the Crash Unit. They're actually called Crash in San Andreas, and they're a real-life unit. I might do a video on them, but Crash was a very corrupt, bad police unit that was in Los Angeles in the 1990s. They were eventually disbanded.
you will look after every last jug.
Crash,
They are yours.
Crash, they directly worked with gangs. They would extort gangs, they would steal money, and they had, like, this twisted sense of justice where they thought, like, we're taking money from gangs, we're stealing their money, so then therefore, the gangs don't need it. You know, they had like this whole like, you know, twisted sense of justice. Hey Patrick, I hope you're having a nice day. Well, hello there, Pants. Thank you for the super chat. But the thing is, though, in real life, Crash didn't get the justice, didn't get, you know, didn't pay really for what they did. There was Crash officers that got arrested, but there was a lot of officers that got away with it. There was a lot of Crash officers that weren't fully prosecuted. Like there was only a few of them that actually went up on trial, and there was a lot more people involved than just those people. In San Andreas, it's just Tenpenny and Pulaski. Hernandez is kind of like, you'll find out a little bit more about Hernandez, but Pulaski and Tenpenny, those are the real bad guys. In real life, it was way more than just 2 cops, like Tenpenny and Pulaski. It was a lot more of them that were involved. It was like an entire unit. Like, almost everyone in the unit was part of it, in on it. Like, they were all just protecting each other. They were just,
Revenue search. Need to check your wagon.
What does CRASH stands for? Community Resources Against,
So, what's in the wagon?
against, I think, street?
Substance is something.
Street hoods, or... I would have to... Community Resources something, it stands, that's what it stands for. I would have to look it up exactly what it is.
We should just leave them to it. Yeah, but then we just have to deal with that mess. No matter what, these bastards are giving us work. Let's see what we've got here.
Street hoodlums, okay, that's what I was thinking of. Why is this guy taking so long to check the wagon?
One of these days, I am going to beat you at poker. And you are going to pay.
The riots in San Andreas are based off the real-life 1992 riots sparked by the acquittal of the cops that beat up Rodney King. That's true. That is true, Mario. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That was based on a real event that happened in San Andreas. That was a really bad thing that happened. The police just beat him up really badly. It was on tape too. It was a clear case of police brutality. Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums. Yeah, that's the full thing. So, okay, we can go now. You go here. Dimitri or Micah, who's more evil? They're both just as evil as each other. You know, Dimitri is the modern day Micah. It's the only you know what the only difference between Micah and Dimitri is? Dimitri's a coward. Micah's not really a coward. Micah, yes, he's a piece of crap and he's a scumbag, but at least Micah will actually fight. Dimitri won't fight. He's a coward.
I don't know why, I just hate Micah more.
You hate what?
I hate Micah more than Dimitri. I don't know why.
The reason people hate Micah more than Dimitri is because Micah has just a much greater role in the storyline Red Dead Redemption 2 than Dimitri does in GTA 4, and it's also because, you know, spoiler, Micah can kill a certain character. Well, can kill a certain character in the bad ending, but can cause the death of a certain character in the good ending.
Either way, he's causing the character to die.
Yeah. Remember, Dimitri can kill Roman in GTA 4, remember that, depending on which ending you get. So it's, okay, I'm gonna go to the catalog in the store right now and see if I can get that free food you're talking about. Awesomeness.
Free food?
Yeah, let's go to the store right here. People are saying that there's free food in Red Dead Online right now.
Just need to collect some things from the mail.
Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums. Yeah, that's Crash. Provisions, let's see. Oh, wow, yeah, this is, Yeah, get this, Jonathan, you're gonna want to get this. Everyone get this. There is a lot of free food right now in the, oh, I'm definitely getting all of this. Thank you for telling me about that, because I would have missed this. If somebody didn't tell me about this, I would have missed this. Thank you for telling me about that awesomeness. Oh my god, all this corn. Peaches, too? I already have that, okay.
Oh, I can't shop in stores for some reason.
Oh my god, that cheese wedge. Do you know something? With, like, the amount of cheese that my character is carrying, the fact that he spends time in, like, the desert, right? It's like, oh my god, the chocolate bars would all melt in the desert. Like, how much stuff can this guy carry? Like, or it's gonna be sitting in my camp box, but, like, imagine that camp box. Like, let's say that my camp is near Armadillo, like it's in New Austin, right? Congrats on 1 million. Oh, thank you, Blitzseat56. Thanks, man. I've done it 100% on San Andreas Definitive Edition. Torture. Well, thank you, Soviet Union. I'm gonna eventually try to get 100% in it. I'll probably do a stream on it. Oh, the cigars are also free. Alcohol is free. But, like, anyways, what I was saying is, imagine all that cheese. Because all that cheese just sitting inside the camp box in, like, really hot temperatures. And, like, imagine the mold that would grow on that. Like, just not eating that for, like, weeks. And then you open up the box, and there's just so much mold that it'll just knock you out instantly. Like, just the smell. That's just...
Actually, you have, there's some pretty unique way to dry cheese, so it won't, forgot the word. So you can eat it without it being, without it developing bacteria.
Yeah, you know, I was a moron once because, like, when I moved, my mom had actually given me some cheese in, like, this glass container, like, you know, those, you know, bins that you close the, and what happened was, I don't know why, I guess I was cleaning up really quickly, and I put it in the wrong spot. I didn't put it in the fridge, which I should have put it in the fridge right away, because I was cleaning, I put it in a cabinet really, quickly, and I closed it, and I forgot about that I put it in that cabinet. I didn't open up that cabinet for some time. Then 3 weeks later, I opened up the cabinet and I saw the cheese in, like, the glass container because I forgot about it. And it had, like, the worst mold, like, growing on it. It was, like, a monster or whatever. And, like, I got rid of it. It wasn't, like, dangerous or anything. I got rid of it. I just threw it out. But it was, like, I was like, holy crap. Like, it was just, like, I did a really stupid thing because I forgot to put it in the fridge. And it was just, that, like... I watched your Pinkerton, video, oh yeah, the Pinkertons, they were really bad guys. You know what the unfortunate thing is, you know, not to really get into politics or anything, but, some people think that, the police force should be private. They think that if the police were private, like, privately owned, instead of publicly owned, they think that would be better, for society, when I'll tell you that, no. From a law enforcement perspective, that would be an absolute disaster. If you had any form of, like, policing that was, like, for profit, it would be an absolute disaster. And anytime anybody tells you that private policing would be a good idea, tell them that it's already been done before. Tell them that it's been done with the Pinkertons, and it was a disaster. Because that's exactly what the Pinkertons were. The Pinkertons were a private police force. A lot of people, when they play for Red Dead Redemption 2, they think that the Pinkertons are cops. The Pinkertons aren't cops. They're cops for hire. That's exactly what they are. They're private cops. Imagine a large corporation. A large corporation that has police officers for hire. That's what the Pinkertons are. They're basically a large corporation that has their own private police force. And that private police force goes and enforces selective law. Notice how I said selective law. They don't enforce all of the law. They enforce selective law. So whoever's paying them, they're going to be very biased in where they enforce the law and where they don't enforce the law. Howdy, hate Micah or not, he was a smart cowboy. Micah was a psychopath. He manipulated Dutch easily, Wolfgang. So yeah, Micah was definitely smart in his manipulation, but he's, you know, a piece of crap. Oh, and make sure you buy from your personal catalog so you can stock up in your lockbox, since the food you bought is in your invisible satchel. Oh, you're right on that. Thank you, Awesomeness. What's the difference between Stag and Ultor? Ultor is a private corporation, where Stag is part of the government.
I just picked up 40 cheese wedges.
If you want to know some of the bad things the Pinkertons did, one really bad thing they did, for instance, was when they were going after... Was it Jesse James? I think it was Jesse James.
Yeah, it was Jesse James.
It was Jesse James, yeah.
Brother.
They were going after Jesse James, and no, the reason they were going after these outlaws, it wasn't for justice. They were going after them for money, primarily. When they went after Jesse James, they confronted Jesse James's mom, and his mom had no idea where he was. And what they did was they went outside and they threw a bunch of dynamite into the house where his mom was, and they killed his 8-year-old brother. So they killed Jesse James's 8-year-old brother with that dynamite, and they also blew off his mom's arm. And so that's how the Pinkertons were, is that if they were looking for somebody, they didn't care if you were related to that person. If there was somebody in your family that was a criminal, and even if you had nothing to do with them, they would go after you too. So they were like, the Pinkertons were some pretty bad, they were some pretty bad guys. They shouldn't, they should have, thank you, Mario, for the super chat. The police should have never done what they did in that situation. That was clear police brutality. That was just really bad. You know, and from a law enforcement perspective, that's what I took. That was just really bad what they did, in that situation. Oh, damn. Oh, whatever happened to the Fernando parody video? I privated it a long time ago, and the reason I did that was because I didn't want to give him attention. I still kept the Mr. Boss parody up, but, like, you know, I didn't want to give Fernando any attention, because even though, you know, people liked the parody, it was giving him attention, and so I didn't want to do that, and so I just... how much longer until this event starts here?
I'll see. 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. Can you do a lore video on the Forellis? Oh, I have that planned. I have a video planned on the rise and fall of the Forellis, because the Forellis used to be the strongest gang in a GTA game. But here's what I'll tell you, the Pinkertons, the reason the Pinkertons were out in the Wild West is because they got chased out of the cities on the east. That's why. And you want to know something? Chicago is actually where the majority of the Pinkertons actually came from when they came out to the west. And so Dutch was an absolute moron when Dutch was like, we'll board a ship to Chicago. It's like Chicago is like literally the center of the Pinkertons. It's like, does this guy have a death wish? Dutch was an idiot. But,
I think that the time that Dutch was talking about moving to Seattle, the Pinkertons were already chased out of Seattle. They were not allowed to enter.
Yeah, then there was a lot of states that actually banned the Pinkertons. So a lot of states actually kicked them out and made laws where they can't do business in those states anymore. And the reason the Pinkertons got chased out of the cities in the east is because they constantly would cause problems and conflicts. The worst thing the Pinkertons did in the east was... let me see, I'm gonna fill up my Deadeye here. So, get this. During the Industrial Revolution, in that time period, there was, you know, a lot of rapid industrialization, a lot of factories popped up, you know, especially Chicago, New York. You know, stuff was being mass-produced, you know, for the first time now. Everything used to be handcrafted, but now a lot of stuff was being mass-produced. And what happened was, a lot of the people that worked in these factories, you worked in the worst conditions possible. You worked 6 days a week in these factories, 12 hours a day. You would not be allowed any breaks. These factories didn't even have fire exits. Horrible conditions. There was no safeties on these machines, which would lead people to getting amputated, having their arms and legs cut off, getting really hurt in these machines. If you got hurt in that time period, even if it was your boss's fault, like even if you got hurt at work and you could prove 100% that it was your boss's fault, you would not get any kind of compensation, anything. So you basically be out of work, you would still have to pay bills, and you could end up becoming homeless. And also kids worked in factories, kids worked in coal mines, you know, Leviticus Cornwall, he's based on Andrew Carnegie. That was a real-life guy who was the richest man in America at the time. He owned coal mines where he employed kids in it. And when Andrew Carnegie was being interviewed on that about the fact that he was using child labor, he said that it breaks his heart, but that it's good for America's future. That's what Carnegie said. Carnegie's a piece of shit. Excuse my language. But that was just exactly what the type of person that Carnegie was. So Carnegie was saying, oh, it breaks my heart that I have kids working in the mines. Well, if it breaks your heart so much, why are you using kids in the first place in your mines? You know, Carnegie was a very cold man. He was not a very in his later years in life, he kind of started seeking forgiveness. But the only reason I think he did that was I think that he felt guilty over the things that he did, and he probably was scared of going to hell, and that's probably why he started changing some of the things he did when he got old. But I have really no sympathy for him. Yeah, I don't really curse a lot, but, you know, Carnegie, like, I know that guy in history. I've read a lot about him. He's a really bad guy in general. Cold dead hands. But anyways, at the time, what actually happened was you had the first labor movements in America going on. Like, you had the first unions that, you know, started coming up. And so, you know, workers started getting organized, demanding better wages. You know, they didn't want to work 12-hour shifts with no breaks. And even when you worked in that condition, you barely had enough to put food on the table. You'd live in these small, like, little tenement apartments with only one window. It was just horrible living conditions. Rats-infested buildings as people lived in back then. It was just really bad. And what happened was the factory owners, instead of just raising their workers' wages and helping them to get out of poverty, you know what the factory owners did? They brought in the Pinkertons to basically infiltrate the unions. So they would basically have Pinkertons go undercover, infiltrate the unions, and if they found out that you were part of the union, you'd be fired. So that's what the Pinkertons did. But the Pinkertons did even worse things. The Pinkertons would be brought in with strike bearers. So when there was a strike at these factories, the Pinkertons would come in with lever-action rifles during the strikes, and the factory bosses would basically get workers to come in to work for cheaper. And the Pinkertons would actually beat people up during these strikes. And they might even actually kill you during these strikes. So they would just beat the crap out of people during these strikes.
The best example was the Homestead strikes in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Homestead strike is actually the beginning of the end for the Pinkertons. That was the end. And so the Homestead strikes actually involved Andrew Carnegie. What happened was Andrew Carnegie had this guy called Frick who was in charge of operations. It was at a steel mill in Pennsylvania, and the workers had a contract with Carnegie. The union had a contract. The contract had expired, and they wanted to renegotiate a new contract. Frick's solution was to just basically get rid of all the old workers and just if they didn't, it was to lower their wages. So the workers were going to be making less money than they were previously under the last contract. And if they didn't like it, they were just going to bring in people that were going to work for less. And so the workers got really angry. They striked. The workers took over the factory by force. So the workers took guns and they took over the factory. And what happened was, instead of that situation could have been calmed down easily. You know, the workers, yes, they did take over the factory, but, you know, if Frick had simply said, okay, you know, we're going to go back to our old contract, we're going to increase your wages, it would have calmed down. Everybody would have gone home, they would have left the factory, there wouldn't have been really any violence at that point. But Frick, instead, he said, you know what, let's send in the Pinkertons to retake the factory. That was his solution. The Pinkertons come in by boat, the workers on the factory see the Pinkertons coming in by barge, they see them armed with lever-action rifles. The workers get really angry because they realize the factory boss had just sent the Pinkertons in. Then what happens is somebody fires a shot. It's unknown whether it was the workers or the Pinkertons. They all start shooting at each other, and a bunch of people died. The Pinkertons opened fire in crowds of people, and yes, the crowds were armed, but at the same time is the factory bosses had caused this whole, you know, situation, and instead of de-escalating it, they kept escalating it even more. It was a horrible idea to send the Pinkertons into that area with guns when there was already people in the factory occupying it with guns. It was just a really bad, situation.
Oh, come on, explosive rounds.
Anyways, what happened was the Pinkertons were actually put on trial after that. They were put on trial and charged with murder for shooting the factory workers. And basically what happened was they were declared not guilty. So after, you know, several months of trial, they were declared not guilty. And even though they were declared not guilty, the public was furious. The media wrote stories about this, how the Pinkertons shot at the workers. And what ended up happening was the state the state of Ohio completely banned the Pinkertons from operating in their state. Other states did the same thing. And the federal government, because of public pressure, the elections were coming up. And if any elected official was in support of the Pinkertons, they were screwed. And so basically the federal government at that point just basically started putting in regulations against the Pinkertons. The federal government banned them from all federal jobs. So the Pinkertons could not do any kind of jobs for the federal government anymore. However, though, it didn't ban them from doing jobs for the states and the cities. And so there were certain areas of the country that the Pinkertons were still technically able to work through in the loopholes. And that's actually why they're in the Wild West. That's why the Pinkertons on Red Dead Redemption 2, because they couldn't work in the cities anymore because they were banned from it because of that, what I just told you, that massacre they did. So they basically went out to the West because in this time period, a lot of the Western areas, these weren't states yet. These were still like, territories of the U.S., but they weren't fully integrated yet. And so the Pinkertons could easily come in, get jobs working for banks, to protect their banks, railroad stations. They would guard railroad stations. They would look for outlaws, that type of stuff. But yeah, the people that tell you that private policing is a good idea, you tell those people that it's already been done before in America's history. It was the Pinkertons, and when the Pinkertons were a private police force, it was a disaster. It was massive corruption. There was massive police brutality. It was just bad. The Pinkertons were not a force for good. I'm sure there was decent people that worked in the Pinkertons, but as a whole, the organization was just corrupt and bad. So it was just a bad group. It was just maybe there were some honest people in it, but overall a lot of the people in it were dishonest. They were corrupt. They were uncaring. It was just not a good group. And the funny thing is, the Pinkertons actually still exist today. They're actually called Securitas AB today. They were actually purchased by a Swedish security company.
And Swedish, yes.
Yes, they exist today. A lot of people don't know that the Pinkertons still exist today, and they actually sued Rockstar for defamation because they claimed that Rockstar had made the Pinkertons, they made them look to be like bad guys in Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's history. The way they were described, the way they were portrayed in Red Dead Redemption 2, I thought it was historically accurate because the Pinkertons were not good people. They were not. A lot of them were really bad guys. This was a police force for profit. That's exactly what this was. They didn't care about carrying out justice. It was all about money for them. And they didn't care who they hurt in the way as long as they got paid. So that I don't know how that lawsuit ended, but there's no way in hell that the Pinkertons would win that lawsuit. That's a stupid. Thank you, Paul, for the super chat. Oh, and also, you guys know there's another organization in this game that's also still exists today. Do you know what other group is real that exists today? The Bureau of Internal Revenue. The Bureau of Internal Revenue, the Revenue Men. They still exist today. A lot of people don't know that. The Bureau of Internal Revenue were a real life group. They were actually formed at the end of the Civil War, or around the Civil War, because I did a documentary video on them. But I did one video on them. Check it out on my channel, The Real Life Revenue Men in Red Dead Redemption. But they were formed around the end of the Civil War, and what a lot of people don't know about is that America as a whole did not have any federal federal income tax for a long time in its history. During the Civil War, America put a federal income tax in. And the reason America put a federal income tax in is because traditionally, in American history, the American army has actually been really small. And during the Civil War, when the southern states broke off and the war started, Abraham Lincoln needed to be able to fund a large army to fight the Confederacy. He needed cannons, he needed muskets, he needed to be able to train troops, he needed food for the military, a bunch of other stuff. And so that's why the federal income tax was brought in, so that they could pay for that stuff. And then what happened was when the Civil War ended, the large army was demobilized. So the army was demobilized, it was made much smaller, and eventually after a few years the federal income tax was repealed. So there was no more federal income tax. However, though, there was tax on certain items federally. The government federally taxed alcohol, they federally taxed cigarettes. And so the government made a lot of tax money from alcohol. And what happened was when there was moonshiners that would try to sell alcohol, they would pay no tax. And so that the Bureau of Internal Revenue was brought in to basically stop that, so that they will generate tax revenue for the government. And the thing is, the revenue men were not good guys either. They weren't. The revenue men, I think they were described pretty accurately in Reddit Online also. They were very corrupt. They were very, very corrupt. The revenue men at the time were not paid good. They were not, their wages were terrible. And so, whenever you have police officials and their wages are really low, you have a high chance of corruption. Sure, there's gonna be honest people always, but when you pay people very little, there's gonna be a very high chance of corruption. So, one way to fight corruption is to actually have decent wages for people, and there's less likely to be corruption. But revenue men were very corrupt, and the revenue men continued up all the way up until the Prohibition era. In the Prohibition era, when alcohol was actually made illegal, they were actually the people that were now enforcing all alcohol bans. And I'm trying to remember what they were called. They were called the Bureau of Prohibition. That's what they ended up being changed to. But they were basically their own, like, it was a little government army, basically what it was. They had guns. They had the power to arrest people. They did raids. But now, these guys exist in real life today. And what are they called today? Do you know what they're called today? The revenue agents? They're called the IRS. That's what they are today. Yep. People aren't going to believe that. That's what the IRS is. The IRS is the Bureau of Internal Revenue. That's what they were. Their name was changed. So that is what the a lot of people don't know that. So when you see those revenue guys in Reddit Online, just know that was the early IRS. And what people don't know, the IRS actually has certain police officers that they can arrest people with guns, but they're not. The IRS is not militarized today. Back then, they were militarized. So that's what a lot of people don't know. Will you ever do a Terraria playthrough? I don't know what that game is, W, but I could look into it. Thank you for the super chat.
For someone that wants to understand better about the Prohibition time, you have a show by HBO called Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah, Boardwalk Empire. I know that one. I never really watched the show, but I'm aware of it. Joker dislikes the IRS. I remember that scene too, when Joker would say that Joker said, "I'm crazy enough to fight Batman, but not the IRS." The IRS is probably the most unpopular government agency in America, though. Like, very few people actually like the IRS, even today. So, the IRS is just, because they're the IRS today, the IRS are not in charge of alcohol anymore. They're not. Instead, that's the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. They're in charge of that. But, when the IRS is now focused on taxes. That's all they're primarily focused on. Then they focus on making sure that people, they make sure that people pay taxes. But the thing is, though, with the IRS, there's a lot of specific selection. Like, if you are for instance, if somebody's really rich and they're cheating on their taxes, and then there's somebody that's middle class and cheating on their taxes, the middle class person is more likely to be targeted. You know, it just happens a lot with the IRS. That's one of the reasons the IRS is really unpopular, because people feel that they're very selective in how they go after people. And so because of how scary the IRS can be, there's all those scams. When you see those scams of people calling and basically saying they're the IRS and that you owe them money, you have to go to the store and buy gift cards. That's all just the scammers take advantage of the fact that people are scared of the IRS, and they try to trick people. Moral of the story, just pay your taxes, people. Thank you, Wolfgang, for the super chat. But let me do some poker here. I'm just gonna go into game chat because it doesn't let me do poker unless I'm in a game chat. Why did Tommy get arrested? Because Sonny Forelli screwed him over. The IRS is the Internal Revenue Service, Arthur. Thanks for the history lesson, Mr. The Professional. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Well, I like to read history a lot. That's how I know a lot about these different groups. But I knew who the Pinkertons were before before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. In regards to the revenue agents, I knew about the revenue agents' history. The only thing I didn't know about them is I didn't know that they became the IRS later. That part I didn't know. But I did know about their times, about how they tried to stop illegal alcohol, and how they eventually went after alcohol during the Prohibition times. I heard and noticed from movies that the old musket rifles were a lot to work with, cleaning out the barrel of the rifle, loading it with gunpowder and pellets, etc. Well, it depends. Yes, any kind of musket is going to be a lot of stuff to clean, but you have you are a little bit off there, because a musket is not a rifle, despite what people think. There are musket rifles out there, not to get people confused, but people see like a musket. They see like the long gun, and they think that it's a rifle, but it's a musket. Now there were musket rifles, but what's the difference? When is a gun just a musket, and when is a gun a rifle? The gun becomes a rifle the moment it's rifled. And how is a gun rifled? When you look down the barrel of the gun, when you see these grooves that are going like in circles, like all the way down the end of the barrel, that means that the gun is rifled, and so technically it's a rifle. So if you see a musket that has like those grooves in there, that's a rifle at that point. And those were actually used back then, even during the Revolutionary War. Those were used. The American sharpshooters during the Revolutionary War used those. The Kentucky long rifle, that's what it was called. But basically, a musket is all it basically is it's a giant pipe. That's pretty much it. Just think about a giant pipe, and think about basically just a bullet ball coming out of it, because it fires a ball. That's technically the bullet. But when people think of a bullet, they typically think of the sharp edge. But they fired balls. And what happened was, let's see here. Do I have a card? Oh, I have one matching card. So the flintlock muskets. Basically, the soldiers at that time period, they had paper cartridges, which they would use to help them try to reload faster. And the paper cartridge is a cartridge that was wrapped in paper. It had a little bit of gunpowder in it, and had the bullet ball in it. And so what happened was, they would bite the tip of it off. They would pour a little bit of the gunpowder into the pan. The pan is on the right side of that, so that little mechanism that you close? There would be a little bit of gunpowder put in that. The rest of it would be actually then shoved down the barrel, and they would shove it down with the ramrod. And then eventually they'd put the ramrod back in. They would pull the trigger. When they pulled the trigger, the flint would actually fly forward. It would ignite the gunpowder in the pan, and then there was like a little small hole that was in the near the pan. The gunpowder sparks would go through that hole, ignite the gunpowder at the back of the musket, and basically the force of that gunpowder would just push the bullet ball out. And what happened was because this was like a pipe, basically not even like a not rifled, it wouldn't be accurate. So basically, when the bullet would be fired, the ball would just rattle left and right, left and right, left and right as it leaves the barrel. And that's why muskets were so inaccurate. And basically, it was so random where the bullet would go. And muskets, you could probably hit a target at like 50 yards, not completely accurately. If it's a decently sized target, you could probably hit it at 50 yards. But past that, no. You don't know where the hell the bullet is going to go. And that's why back then in that time period, that's why they had like the line formations. Like people look at the line formations and they're like, this is a really stupid way of fighting, where people go in lines and just shoot each other. The reason that they did that was because nobody would hit anybody. If they were all stay in cover and just shoot each other, nobody would do that. Nobody would hit each other. And that's why they had the line formation. You would basically have troops that would go up, and they would basically just huge wall of lead, fire at each other, reload, fire at each other until one line is completely dead or retreated. That was just the time period of it. Hey, Professional, hope you're having a good one. Love when you go into history. There's always something new and interesting I found out from you. Thank you, thank you, Ira. Okay, let's see here. Put up. Much love from Tunisia. Thank you, Caspian. But now, when a musket was rifled, the ball would kind of like basically go like this when it was going through the grooves, and because of that, it was much more accurate, and you could hit what you're aiming at farther. When it goes down a regular, musket, it's just the ball is just gonna keep rattling from side to side, and then you have basically no idea where the hell it's gonna go. Oh, what the? Okay, he had a king too. That's rare. Oh yeah, Tony was a crazy in The Sopranos. I think it's stupid that they removed the dislike bar. I know some people still see the dislikes, some people don't. I don't see the dislikes anymore, for people wondering. So I don't even know how many dislikes this video has. But yeah, I just think it's stupid. I think, people are too sensitive these days. That's what I think. It's just, as a YouTuber, you have to be willing to deal with, criticism. And not just that, you gotta be willing to deal with haters. I know haters are annoying and they're unreasonable, but there's nothing really you can do about it. Haters are everywhere. I get hate. People curse me out for no reason. They don't like me. And, I deal with it. I ignore them. I just deal with it. I don't complain to YouTube or ask for the dislikes to be removed. I don't hide my dislike bar. So it's, I'm gonna have Saints Row and GTA up soon, and I'm gonna have Vanguard also up soon. I can see my dislikes if I go into the Creator Studio. If I go in the Creator Studio, then I can see the dislikes. But I can't see, I don't think is there even a way for me to see the dislikes right now, even if I go on the live page? I don't think there even is. Oh, whatever. But it's just so stupid. I'll tell you that. I don't know what they were thinking. It's a good way to improve the channel by taking advantage of the hate. Well, the thing is, though, is that when somebody is a hater, they're hating on something for stupid reasons. There's really no legitimate reason. But then when there's, actual criticism, for instance, when people mass dislike, clickbait videos on YouTube, are they haters? No. I wouldn't say that they're haters when somebody dislikes clickbait videos, because there's a reason to dislike them. Because they're clickbait. They basically tricked you into watching a video for no reason. That's why people hate clickbait. But, a hater is just somebody that just will go to a channel and just basically try to cause drama. Try to cause arguments, insult people, and will just dislike bomb for no reason. That's basically what a hater is. And as a YouTuber, you gotta learn to deal with that. You gotta learn to deal with it because, I don't know what to say. I know everybody's different, but, you gotta learn to deal with this type of stuff. As a content creator, you're gonna have people that are gonna be nasty to you. It's part of it. And also, you learn from it, in a way. You learn not to let it get to you. You learn to move on. You learn that the person's a moron. The person that is insulting you and just saying to you stupid things to you is an idiot. And that's, you basically ignore them and you move on. And that's that. But like I said, it's just a lot of people are too sensitive these days, and it's just, I'm gonna win this pot. There we go, see? I did pretty good there. Okay. I'm at $31 right now. I think I'm gonna leave this game, because I've done pretty well. I'm profiting right now. The clickbaiters have no opposition now since dislikes are gone, and they can control the comment section. Yup. You are completely correct on that. So because the dislike bar has saved people from getting scammed, and it saved people from getting clickbaited. Because basically, whenever you click on a video, let's just say, let's say that you're looking up GTA videos, or you get recommended a GTA video, and you get recommended one video, Rockstar Insider. Interview with Rockstar Insider or something like that. I know a Rockstar Insider, release date of GTA 6 leaked or something like that. And you click on the video hoping that there's information on the release date of GTA 6, but instead it's just some YouTuber talking for at least 8 minutes, because when they talk for 8 minutes, they can put more ads in the video. And they'll just be talking for 8 minutes about this nonsense, saying oh, it's speculation, or, the release date might be this time, and, we have a Rockstar Insider that suggests this, but there's never any kind of direct information and everything, and they basically just wasted your time. And the thing is, because the dislike bar is gone now, you are more likely to watch videos like that. Because normally, when you get recommended a video like that and you click on it and you look, the first thing I look at when I look at a video is a dislike bar. That's the first thing that I look at every time. And when you see like there's 60-70% dislikes, all you basically need to do is just scroll down to the comment section at that point and you see people say, oh, this is clickbait garbage, I'm not watching this. And then it saves you the 8 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole video to know that it's clickbait at that point. And you have your time saved. And you also don't have to give the clickbaiter money because you're not watching their ads. But now, because the dislike bar is gone, you can't see the dislikes. You can only see likes, and so you don't know how many people really dislike the video, and the clickbaiter could just delete all the negative comments. And so now you're at risk of constantly getting clickbaited, and also at risk of being scammed. You say UMG is the music mafia. Well, do you know a fire at Backlot of Universal Studios Hollywood in 2008 destroyed 118,000 to 175,000 audio tapes belonging to hundreds of artists? No, I actually did not know that. Was that like a fire an accident or what? But no, I didn't know about that, Mario. The smartest gang boss in Saints Row is Ben King. In all of the Saints Row games, the stupidest gang boss in Saints Row, and I'm talking about the old Saints Rows, the Saints Row 1 and 2. The smartest gang boss in Saints Row 1 and 2 is Ben King. The stupidest gang boss in Saints Row 1 and 2, I have to think. Who's the stupidest gang boss? You can see the dislike bar, but no, I can't. And eventually, you're not gonna be able to also. The stupidest gang boss in the old Saints Row games. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is the stupidest gang boss in Saints Row 1 and 2 that you fight? And when I say gang boss, I'm talking about the leader of the gang, not like Angelo. Angelo is pretty stupid. Angelo. Well, Merrill is at least somewhat competent. Angelo wasn't competent. Merrill just got greedy, and that was his ultimate downfall. I would say it's probably Warren. Warren is the stupidest gang boss in the Saints Row games. He's in the same gang as the Vice Kings, and the reason I'm saying he's a gang boss is because he was a gang boss for less than a day. He ran out Ben King, and the second he ran out Ben King, he became the new boss. And he's the biggest idiot because if he had just listened to Ben King, they would have been able to do serious damage to the Saints. Ben King wanted to do everything, by the book. We have connections to City Hall, we have connections to the police. We're gonna cripple the Saints this way. But Warren was like, no, let's all go in and just shoot. That was basically Warren's just whole he was just aggressive. He's just stupid. And Warren didn't realize that Tanya was manipulating him. Tanya manipulated him into betraying Ben King. Then they betrayed Ben King, and then he crashed. And then Tanya killed him and betrayed him, and then Tanya wanted to take over the gang. So it was just Warren, I would say, is probably the stupidest gang boss in a Saints Row game. Angelo is also really stupid. You say you don't have a favorite genre of music, but how come your favorite radio station in every GTA is almost always the rock and roll station? No offense, by the way. Generally because I like a lot of the rock music that's in GTA games, but it's if you look at it in GTA 5, I listen to Radio Mirror Park and those stations more than I do to Los Santos Rock Radio. So it's it depends on the game. If it's Vice City, I'm gonna typically listen to V-Rock because I like a lot of the songs really on there. But in GTA 3, I listen to Lips a lot in that one. So it's it depends on the game that I'm playing. Okay, Brandon. Why on Red Dead is the griefing like none, but on GTA it has so much griefing, but they're all? It's because the griefing It's because the griefing in like in Red Dead Online is nowhere near as bad as GTA Online. There's no overpowered vehicles for them to use. If somebody actually wants to kill you in like Red Dead Online, they actually have to run up to you and shoot you. They can't spawn some stupid vehicle. Also, if they kill you, you can parlay them. And when you parlay them, they won't be able to kill you for 10 minutes, and you can do almost all the activities in the game. Much better than passive mode, because in passive mode you can't do anything when you're in passive mode, but in this you can still shoot, do missions, and they can't harass you for 10 minutes. And you can also press charges against them, which raises their bounty. You can go into defensive mode, which that basically they have to free aim you to try to hit you. So there's just way more counters. There's way more ways to deal with the griefers in Red Dead Online than there is in GTA Online. It's not just all about Wild West, because I know there's no overpowered vehicles, but there's also like anti-griefing measures in this game to stop people. And that doesn't really GTA Online. What anti-griefing measures does GTA Online have? Nothing. You know, some people say Ghost Organization is a counter to griefers. The Ghost Organization helps griefers. It helps them go off the radar for 3 minutes. So there's barely any, and like you guys saw what happened. I had an idiot join my stream earlier, if you guys were watching then, but there was a guy that came in, shot me like once. I knew he was a stream sniper. His name gave it away. But anyways, the guy shot me, and I parlayed him. And after I parlayed him, he couldn't kill me for 10 minutes. The guy gave up and left the match, and he didn't come back. And so that was that. And so I didn't have to deal with any of that. That's what's bad. Well, Red Dead Online also has bad servers, but it's just Red Dead Online is just way easier to deal with it. Like, I made a video a long time ago. The people that ask me why is griefing so less common in Red Dead Online, I've made a video on my channel. Look it up. Because I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes here. But look up the video. I would ask you to. I think you'd like it. It's called Top 5 Things that Red Dead Online does better than GTA Online. And in that video, I go over, like, what this game does better than GTA Online and stuff like that. Because, yes, there are some things better in GTA Online, but, I don't deal with the stress and anxiety on this game like in GTA Online. Like, in GTA Online, I would have to constantly look over my shoulder, like, thinking that I'm gonna get jumped by, like, an Oppressor Mark II, thinking that I'm gonna get orbital cannon. Like, I would have to constantly look at the map. I would have to look at the map and see if somebody's sitting in a facility. Like, it was scary. Like, literally, you couldn't move cargo without looking at the map. I would have to look at the map every minute when I was moving cargo, just to make sure there was nobody in the facility at the time. That's, like, how disgusting it was. But, like, in this game, I don't have to look over my shoulder constantly. Even if I get killed at the worst, I'll just parlay them, and it's over. But GTA Online, the PvP in that game is just garbage. Like, it's horrible. It's some of the worst PvP that I've seen. GTA Online makes me paranoid. Oh, it makes me paranoid as well. Like, you can't even play a match without looking over your shoulder. Like, somebody's driving down the street. You don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know if they're gonna blow you up or what they're gonna do. But in Red Dead Online, you can drive down the same street as somebody, and they're generally not gonna shoot you. So it's just I will do Saints Row lore videos. But I guess I'm probably gonna I am probably going to wrap up the stream here, guys. I'm just a bit hungry. I've only ate breakfast, so I'm just really hungry. I'm gonna have a good dinner right now. But if you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like. If you guys enjoyed the stream, though, help me get up to 700 likes. We're really close to that. That'll make my day. When's the next Vanguard part? If it's not up tonight, it'll be up tomorrow. So I'll have the next part of Vanguard as soon as I can. But I guess we'll be going here, guys. Oh, I'm eating much better than what I used to. Like, I used to have some problems with eating. I would eat barely anything. Like, I'd just have a few bites and I'd feel full. But like now, like, I fixed my sleeping schedule. I'm able to eat normally, and I'm actually able to eat a decent amount. I'm actually very happy with that. Love your videos, Pro. I'm going through a lot, and videos are helping me get through it a bit easier. Well, thank you, Corey. I hope that everything is okay, and thank you for your super chat. I do appreciate it. Thank you, man. It does mean a lot to me. Oh, I could do that, Kevin. Thank you, Profan. Okay, so I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're new to my channel, I do Red Dead content, but I also, like, play a lot of different games. I do lore videos. I tend to dress up as the characters in games. But, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend, everyone, and I'm gonna have a lore video soon. I don't know when. I don't want to give an exact date because I'm still working on it. But just know there will be a GTA 4 lore video soon. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful week.